Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, from the finals for the Division 3 in Valance League. I am Daydream, and tonight my co-caster is Curly. How are you doing
Hello.
tonight?
Yeah, really good. Really excited for this game. Should be a banger, and this is what we're all waiting for. Everyone signs up for this point, so hopefully we get a good 5-game series.
And it's a very interesting point because I watched the Chronicles of Garen Mid last week, but you actually played against Rocket Academy, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. There were some really close games as well. Especially game 2 and 3, extremely close. Game 4 and game 1, not so much. Bit more of a stomp from their half, I think. So
Yeah, I think it was a similar thing I saw in the 3-0 that the Chronicles of Garen Mid gave Abstract Chaos because they played some very interesting comps where they had a J4 mid into an Ari, and then they also had a Mordecai into a Singed up top. So a matchup I didn't expect to go well for the Singed, but where he kind of dumpstered. He kind of ended up dumpstering onto the Singed. It's quite so I quite it's going to be a very spicy series, like you say, and we're kind of waiting to see when everyone's ready to get into Champ Select.
I think what's going to be really interesting about these two games as well is, especially you've got the last time these two played, Roccat beat them 2-1. But I think since then there's been a complete change up with some of the roster from
Yeah.
Chronicles of Garen Mid. And they've actually clean sweeped 3-0 their last two games. So could be a bit of a surprise, a bit of a revenge coming out, I think.
I think
From
it'd be
Garen.
very interesting to see, and I think a big key factor in my opinion was Makashima on that Jarvan 4 because that J4 in the early game was kind of doomed into the Ari, but afterwards, as soon as he got out of lane, he could use that Cataclysm and the Flag and Drag to make those plays and set his team fight up for a nice front to back. So
Yep.
if J4 is left open, I think Roccat might have a bit. Roccat might have a bit of a hard time depending on what they pick into it, but other than that,
It'd be quite a bit of an interesting flex. I'd be quite interested to see what they build. They built on it because again, that Jarvan at the moment it can go top, it can go jungle, it can go
it
mid.
can. So as far as I remember, it was Hail of Blades, and when Eclipse is their mythic
Ooh,
item.
okay, Hail of Blades.
It was a very bursty. It was a very bursty Jarvan 4, which really worked in the early game when it wasn't getting charmed by the Ari. But the Ari, as soon as Jarvan Flag and dragged in, would charm it, and then Viego would stun. So the early game for Makashima didn't go well. But like I said, later on, he scaled really well, and those cataclysms came in very clutch towards the end of the games.
It ought to be really interesting. And I believe we're in draft now, aren't we?
We are in Champ Select. What are the predictions from Ragged Reese? What do you think, Curly? What are your predictions for this?
Predictions. I think again because it's the final. This is what everyone kind of signs up for. You want to be at this point. I think both teams are going to come out a little bit safe. I'm expecting a Xayah ban from Garen Mid, just because I think that's really flexible.
So I believe
For
Garen Mid don't actually have any bans
Oh yeah, very true. That's a good
because they
point.
have an E sub. Because they have an E sub, so they're not banning anything.
That's going to be really interesting then, because this Sire I've seen consistently been played by Steenson in the mid lane. We
Zion
banned it.
Mid. Oh,
Yeah, we banned it every series, and I think the series that it has gone through, he's been like 13-2, and it can be flexed. So I'm expecting like a Xayah pickup, quite quick.
so you're seeing the Swain ban. Ragged Reese really likes playing these enchanters like the Swain, like the Seraphine, like the Zillion. So I wouldn't be surprised to see more of an enchanter focused ban list from Roccat Academy.
Oh yeah, you've hit that straight on the
Oh,
nail of the head.
and
So yeah,
as it comes in, the Zillion gets banned. Ragged Reese's Zillion was huge in Game 3 for them last week. So it doesn't surprise me that it does get banned.
yeah, it's quite interesting. All targeted on the support. I don't know if that's them kind of saying, okay, that might be a weak point that they can exploit, like kind of whittle down his champion pool. But yeah, it's quite interesting that all picks are going support. Maybe some priority on bot lane.
I would be very surprised, however, if Rocket Academy have watched their games to see them, but to see them not ban that J4.
Right, here we go. First pick. Let's see what comes out. So again, we might see that Jarvan come out straight away.
And if it is as you say, and they can flex that Xayah around, then I would be surprised to see Jarvan not get
Yeah.
picked here. Oh, and that Jarvan comes out as a first pick.
So now I'd be interested in the Xayah. This is where I see, uh, Rocket Academy picking up this Sire, flexibility, mid and bot. That's what I'm predicting. I might be completely wrong.
I mean, you played them, so I'm sure you have more of an expertise than I do. But picking the Zaya this early leaves you open to quite a lot of counter picks, and that Poppy is just
Ooh.
Ash Poppy.
So I know Ash was really prevalent. It's probably one of Sin Livial's best picks, and I think the Poppy, again, that flag and drag that you were talking about, it just stops that Jarvan.
It skill
So
checks them.
yeah, so again, there's going to be a lot of vision from Ash. Again, just continuously shooting in the river. And
Yumi, do not play Garen Yumi. Do not play
this
Garen.
would be really interesting.
However, I respect the Garen.
Yep, hands down. You're called Chronicles of Garen mid. Let's
If you
see a
want-
Garen mid.
We have to see what happens.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we're looking at a Jarvan mid, Mordekaiser top. It's what they played in game one last time, and I'm not surprised that they're playing it here again because they played it so well last week. So having the Mordekaiser Jarvan early game is really, really good, especially when you get to level 3 in the Jarv and the Mord and the Jarvan can do a lot of damage. Expected to see that Halo Blades on Makashima's Jarvan as well.
Oh, we have the Bard coming out here as well. So again, that's a really interesting pick.
So what I end up seeing here is Bard has the ability to roam. So if the Jarvan gets a little bit far ahead, the Bard can go and roam and stop that if they can. But the Jarvan has that flag of drag to get away, so it'll be interesting to see how often Bard goes between bot and mid.
But I'd be quite interesting here. It's quite interesting here. I think maybe they've picked the Bard to kind of counter the Yuumi, because the Yuumi has to stick on the AD carry.
Yeah.
So we might see Sin Levio on Ash being left alone quite a lot this series, and then using the Hawk shot to kind of set up plays. So I'm expecting mid and top being played from Rocket Academy here.
But we have to see. We'll see what the last ban is for Rocket Academy. Just a reminder for everyone in the chat: the Chronicles of Garamid do not have any bans this game or this series due to the fact that they have an emergency sub.
Which is Autumn, I believe. Autumn? Yeah.
Autumn, yes. And also, one thing Autumn did say in his interview with me is don't let him play Misfortune Aphelios. There is comfort picks. If you want, he wants to feel challenged, he said last week. So let's see what they do pick Autumn in the end here.
Brave words. Hopefully that pays off for him.
Indeed, indeed, indeed.
All right, and obviously we're just waiting for that last ban, and then, well, we're going to get the first pick. Here we go, of the second rotation.
I'm expecting a top pick here.
Yeah, something to go into that Mordekaiser. Yeah,
unless the Poppy is the top pick. Oh?
Okay, Jax. Again, I think this pick, if it is Jax, I think it's kind of leaning towards that Bard roaming, getting those side lanes ahead. And that completely counters what I've just said, if that goes through.
What? Okay, so I actually really, really like this Shen pick because if they go all in, the Shen can stay in the side lane, split pushing, and when that fight breaks out, he can use the Stand United, get right into that fight, and just taunt and save his entire team from ultimate death, especially with the Poppy skill checking their team as well.
Yeah, so like you said, I think there's a lot of denial there. You've got the Ash Arrow for engage, you've got the Bard ult, the Shen ult, the Poppy W. And Aurelia into Poppy is not really a pick that I'm kind of looking forward to for that Aurelia. Oh, we got some interesting picks here.
I'm interested to see what this Java. That is an Aurelia Yuumi bot lane.
Okay.
Oh no! It could be Jarvan bot lane.
There is some stuff going on here.
This is the spice I wanted.
This is I mean, I think Anivia is a great pickup here. They've got 4 melee champions with a Yuumi.
Yes, I was about to mention that.
And you have Anivia who can.
You have Anivia,
I'm not sure.
You have Ash, you have Bard. I'm very, very interested. So you're looking at. So they have a lot of. CC potential, a lot of dive potential as well, because the Qs from the Aurelia could take us straight into the backline if they go well. The Trundle Pillar, the Mordekaiser, the Cataclysm, and then you have the Yuumi ult just to top that all off. If Yuumi gets a huge ult, you get a Cataclysm on top of that. Aurelia just starts to do her work, and so does Trundle. And Mordekaiser could obviously take something like the Shen or the Ash into the Death Realm to stop them from like counter engaging or counter CCing anything like that. I really, really like this comp, but it's a very risky comp to play into a team that has 3 range champions in the Bard, Nivea, and Ash.
These comps. This is again not what I expected for the first game. I was
It's
expecting,
only game 1. Yeah.
yeah, ease yourself into the series. Don't try anything too risky. Get yourself comfortable. Get a nice 1-0 lead. This is not going to be the case. This is going to be they're putting the gauntlet down and they're saying, "Show us what you can do."
That is
So,
Aurelia Yumi bot lane.
really, Yumi. Okay, this will be
But the
interesting.
thing is, the thing I'm seeing bot lane is if, like I said, if you can get is it what's the E called? Is it the flawless duet? If you can get if you
Oh,
get that
yeah, I
if you
believe
can
so.
get if you can get the stun landed onto the Ashe or the Bard in the bot lane, the Yumi, both the Yumi with the Yumi slow, you can get straight onto that backline and you can kill that Ashe very quickly. But the big thing that Ashe has is that as soon as Aurelia starts walking up to her, she just auto attacks, and the auto attack's slow, so they're gonna have to build tenacity quite quickly in order to counteract those slows. There's gonna be a lot of if I were playing this game, there'd be a lot of Mercury shreds on the Chronicles of Garen mid to counteract all of the CC that they have, the taunt, the slow, the ult from Ashe, the ult from Poppy, the stun from Poppy, the stun from Anivia, the slow from Anivia, the stun from Bar. There's so much CC on that team to stop them from engaging. They're a very big counter-engaged team, Rocket Academy. So we have to hope that Chronos and Mid jump onto them early enough so that they can get those early kills in.
Yeah, I'm gonna be really interested actually as well by these like kind of what is their early tactics coming on, and I feel like this Jarvan. Wait, yes, we've got Trundle. I feel like you've got to get these laners ahead. If again, like the Anivia and the Ashe can scale freely without, like if Aurelia gets put behind and in a bit of trouble, yes, the Yumi's going to come in a bit clutch later on, and do some really really good healing, and some important, like really make a difference. But I think it's just going to be quite difficult. You've got to get through a wall, a Bardo, a Shenol, the Poppy W. If that's perfectly timed, your engage becomes a lot harder. So this is about engage and counter engage. I think Garen mid have got to be hella aggressive, and early laning phase is really important for Garen mid.
I could not agree more. And in those later team fights as well, Garen. So what in the early game when they want to engage, they need to bait out those key abilities that will stop them from doing so. The Nivea Q, the Shen taunt. They need to get all the abilities out that will stop them from engaging, so that they can engage. And I'm also really looking forward to how this early game goes, because Aurelia is going to have a difficult matchup into the Ashe being melee into range, melee into double ranged. So I want to see how they play this game, because Autumn played insane last series and they said challenge him, and now he's picked Aurelia of all the things into an Ashe. And I've just seen in the chat, imagine trying to color cast this.
Yeah, honestly, at this moment, I'm not gonna lie. This is my first time here on the stream. These drafts, I'm like, what on earth has Garen mid just pulled out? This has completely upset the apple cart. I'm not really too sure what to say.
So there are complex drafts, but I don't even know.
Yeah,
I don't even know if the Chronicles of Garen Mid know they're playing this right now. Maybe I'm wondering if it's set in that they're playing Aurelia Yumi bot into Ashe Bard.
maybe there was some bad comms and people were just like, oh yeah, we'll just pick this. Oh wait, we've picked top twice. Oh no, okay, and then just kept going. I don't know what's going on. But there's just another little comment where just imagine you're playing this first game as Team Rocket Academy, and you come against this. And imagine if they just beat you here.
What you do?
If they beat you here, what? And I think that's a really good point. I would be looking at this team comp, going, "What on earth am I going against here? Full on, in your face. They're gonna take it to you, pretty much." So no, I can't wait for this one to start, and I think mid game is going to be really spicy.
Are we going to at what time? 10. Okay, we'll stop at 10. Same.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, we're in 1, 2, 7, 8, 10.
I'm stopped on 10. Yep,
Stopped on 10.
no problem.
Got a bit of time. I'm gonna rearrange the player frames.
Me too.
I don't know. Okay, I can do it. Okay, so there, Poppy, jungle.
What a draft!
Honestly, holy crap!
Can they hear us?
Can
Are
you
we
still
live
hear us, by
still?
the way?
Oh,
Oh.
perfect.
So we'll wait for the game time. We'll wait for us to go to game so that you can see what we can see. But it's very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, this is exactly what we wanted from game one. I was expecting really slow, easy game just to warm us in, but
Chronicles of
this is
Garamid noped that straight away. All right, so we're getting into game one now with this comp from the Chronicles of Garamid that I don't think any of us could have envisaged, in all honesty. And like I said, we're looking at a Halo Blades Jarvan and a triple TP comp on the side of the Chronicles of Garamid. Now, what do you think of that, Curly?
again. I think it's very brave. I think Trundle is going to be really, really important here. I think Anivia, Ash, I can see them being punished by Jarvan and Aurelia if they play it badly. But I think if they can freeze these people off and just hold them off the wave, it becomes really, really difficult for the for Garen mid to do anything in that mid and bot.
So we're looking at like a simple, like a standard 5 point defense with the jungler going for that very meta. Drop a ward somewhere, get your Oracle lens so
Oh,
you
yeah.
can start sweeping vision when you start wanting to gank. But Chronicles of Garamid don't particularly want to fight right now because they don't really have a lot of engage options. They have a Yumi as their only engage option. So it'll be interesting to see what will happen in this early game.
Yeah, it should be really, really interesting just seeing how this thing unfolds. I'm quite interested in the water just went down mid. So I was could have even potentially been an evade. You got a range advantage. How can Garen mid get on top of you? You could easily get a ward on one of these buffs here.
Exactly, but we see now. I've just seen Makashima going to the bot lane. Will it be Jarvan Yumi bot lane with Autumn playing Aurelia mid into Anivia?
Oh my. So yeah. So okay. So yeah, they're
I have
completely
to
role
rearrange
swapping.
these player frames again.
So again, is this them looking at the matchup? They might have looked at the matchup and then decided, actually, this is much better.
I think so, but we'll have
Yeah.
to see what happens.
Okay. So again, just some nice farming here early on. Not really too much. Aurelia already trading early.
Aurelia's early trading is extremely strong if she can jump onto you, and the Anivia doesn't really have a lot because she's really quite mana heavy very early. As we see the Yumi just auto attacking, just keep auto attacking onto.
Ooh, okay. Huge
the-
trade there in the mid as well for
As
Anivia.
we see the auto attacks start to come in with the slows.
Okay, interesting. So again, yeah, both waves being as predicted, kind of both waves should be pushed in. You've got the two control kind of lanes, the Ash and the Anivia, just controlling the wave, gently pushing in. Both should have level 2 and kind of that early little bit of advantage. But oh, we have a gank, I think.
Well, we have a gank from the Trundle coming in. Pillar comes in. They put the flash comes up from the Anivia, and he's in the passive, but the Aurelia flashes onto him as well. And the first blood goes over to Autumn in the mid lane on the Aurelia. Very, very standard gank. I don't think Autumn needed to flash there because Anivia had already popped into passive, but Anivia doesn't have a flash, she doesn't have a TP, she's going to find it very difficult to get back into this lane early, at least, as the Fire Drag goes in onto the Ash. But as I said, you go in and they can just auto-attack you. Makashima's just taking the auto-attack as his focused shot.
Just running him down.
And the heal comes in from Ragged Reese. Oh, that's super, super close as the flash gets expended from the Ash and the Jarvan, but the Jarvan has TP to keep up the pressure in this lane as Ragged Reese is focusing, but the fighting doesn't stop as there are some trades in that top lane.
It's all kicking off here. Oh, we've got even more.
Woo.
Oh, and just a quick disengage.
That's what I was talking about as the Flag and Drag goes in again onto the Ash, but they missed completely this time. And the Ignite comes out from Ragged Reese, but Ragged Reese gets stunned up by the Bard, and the E gets used from Poppy, and the Bard gets the kill onto Ragged Reese.
Just so much aggression coming out. I think going back a little bit, and there's a flash there just in the top side.
From Ard, yeah.
I think what's so important, getting that Aurelia ahead early, I think that is so crucial. Because I think if the Aurelia can get into the point where she can't be contested, this Anivia is not going to be able to play as the Trundle comes in again.
As the Trundle comes in, and Aurelia has the passive as the Q comes in, but she gets stunned up and takes an electrocute prop as well. As the taunt comes in from the Shen. Shen wins early against the Mordekaiser as he just gets his grasp autos off as well. And Ard has no flash because he used it before in that other top lane trade because he was taking tower shots.
I mean, just pure action at the moment. Again, I think everyone kind of wanted to put their foot down and put their stamp on this series. Oh,
Has Aurelia gone too far forward? I think Aurelia's gone too far forward as the wall comes out and she gets stunned into the wall. Autumn has nowhere to go and she gets downed by the Anivia. So it's a return kill onto the Anivia.
again,
One thing I will say though is that Aurelia now does have the Vampire Scepter as we see another fight as the Taunt Flash comes in from Shen but completely misses onto Ard.
Again, what I thought, just a really, really nice combo there as well. Using the Poppy, again, you've got the E to smash up against the wall for Anivia. Again, that's going to be such a nice interaction for the 2v2 in mid.
Indeed. As the device, as the Flawless Duet comes out again and the auto attack, she does so much damage right now as Autumn just downs NB Steenson once again, 2 for 1. And that Vamp Scepter this early into the game is doing a lot of work because it gives Aurelia that sustain. She takes a bad trade, she can lifesteal it up somewhat.
Honestly, if I was Steenson right now, I would be worried. Again, I don't think you can walk up to this wave. This Aurelia can just jump on top of you, go straight on you, and then if he catches you, you are in a lot of serious trouble. So again, I'm a bit worried for the Anivia at the moment. Needs to play well. If they get frozen, in a lot of trouble.
Indeed, and Anivia still has a minute up until her passive comes back, and Autumn has his flash, and Autumn has their flash up, not their flash, their ultimate up now. It's a level 6 to level 5 advantage for Autumn in that mid lane, who now has a Recurve bow as well as a Vamp Scepter. So looking to really, really go hard before that second passive comes in. 2-1-0 and 15 CS ahead in 6 minutes.
Yeah, and I think this is exactly what you want. I think if this doesn't happen and Garen Chronicles get behind, again, this is going to be so much a harder game. But I think this mid jungle combo is they're going to be looking mid a lot. And here we go.
The ult gets hit. The Vanguard's edge gets hit, but she gets stunned, and the disengage comes out from the Anivia. That's what we mean. Anivia could land that ult, and the stun lands, so they come out.
I mean, with this pressure as well, I'm quite interested. Are they going to go for the Drake here? Or is, again, just looking for a play on bot side? Oh.
It's a very aggressive play coming in from the Jarvan as the Yuumi gets stunned up and Reese gets killed. Is this going to be a... Oh, Bakashima gets killed first, but then Reese gets killed as well. And Ash gets a double kill, which is huge considering they were even until that point. And now, Power Fruit will go for that dragon, and the Rocket Academy will get that first Mountain Dragon as Autumn is starting to take place in that mid lane. One thing I will say though is that Anivia's wave clear at this point starts to become very good as she does have her ultimate, so she can just spam that ultimate.
I think also what's really important here is the Shen is now 6. So again, your power, when these engages happen, you might see a Shen ult mid. Again, that could really, really come through and maybe just give Steenson a little bit of breathing space.
Oh, as we see the Poppy come in and get stunned. And stuns the Aurelia into the wall, and that's a kill onto Autumn. This is the issue with Autumn right now. As we see the Trundle have 6, and the Stand United's coming in, and the knockup from the Poppy up comes in, and Poppy...
Oh, lovely.
And the Trundle also dies as...
We've got a Bard Mordekaiser out here as well.
Who was that death drum on, by the way?
That was on the Bard, but I think the Mordekaiser realised everyone's dead on his team, there's so many people around him. Even if he kills the Bard, it's not really that worth because he's going to go down as well. So again, I think smart choice, refuse, don't add more gas to the fire, just kind of get out there alive. So
about a minute and a half ago, Chronicles of Garen Mid were 1k up. After all of these little skirmishes, Rocket Academy are now 400 gold up.
Again, I think that Poppy and Nivea is actually really coming in really, really strong here. Again, that little combo, wall comes up, the slow, the stun, and Poppy just slams Aurelia straight into the wall, and she's just helpless at that point.
And that's the thing, now Poppy's got her tier, she's got her lost chapter, she's going to start scaling as well. So it's got to be...
I think we've got a dive here. We've got a dive here.
Autumn comes in for the dive, but the stun comes in from... And they have a 6, and the Cataclysm comes in from the Jarvan, but Autumn is doing so much damage as well, and flashes in. And with that empowered auto, kills Impress.
Oh, lovely W by Sin.
The comes out by the Ash, but the ult comes out for the Yuumi, and that's a shutdown onto the Aurelia. Aurelia now 4-2, and still taking place in both mid and bot lane now, as the Flawless Duet comes out.
Again, Autumn is really showing up here. Really, really showing what he can do.
As the
Again,
Herald is summoned top lane,
ooh,
but Ard took a lot of damage from the Shen, but still gets 2 plates with 320 gold in his back pocket.
again, we got to play mid now as well.
Yeah, but the stun from the Poppy's been used as the Poppy has to flash away, but he walks into a tower shot and the E comes out from the Anivia and he dies.
Or Papa Flash. I think he missed his E.
Shen just came out of the death drum and kills the Mordekaiser. That's the thing.
I mean, this is exactly where you want to be right now. This is pure, absolute fighting. There's nothing slow. Again, these guys are not worrying about taking their time, you know, playing really, really, like, heavily smart, really tactical, reserved. They are just going, right, we're better than you. And they are taking it to each team. So this is really, really great to watch.
It's a game of numbers right now, and it's a very, very even game as well. There's only 600 gold in it, but 600 gold 10 minutes in is quite big. You can see right now still no mythics have been completed as we see the slow come in from the Yuumi. Will the Flanker Drag follow onto the Ashe? It does, and the auto attack, the Halo Blaze auto attack comes in as the W slows her down as the Poppy also comes in, but the Bard stun comes in as well. As the Poppy stun comes in as well, and the Yuumi is left all alone to her own devices, and the Ashe gets another double kill, 5 and 1 in the bot lane, with both bot laners for Garen mid being 0, 3 and 2.
So I actually think so. I think, again, Garen mid, early game, they did some really, really nice stuff, but I think they're starting to get heavily punished now by Rocket. Again, you've got Shen who's ahead. You've got Poppy with 8 assists. Again, mid has actually done quite well to kind of balance themselves out with the Anivia, like the Anivia-Poppy kind of combo. And now you've got the Ashe ahead, so again, this bot lane, this Jarvan, 0-3, 0-2 on the Trundle. This is going to be tricky for Garen mid now. Again, they have to play through this Aurelia. Get this Aurelia doing more work. Try and save a side lane. See what you can do.
Yes. I mean, we've had our first mythic completion as well before Sin Leviel got his. We had Anivia's Liandry, so we can have a little jingle there for the MasterCard of Liandry's Torment, Liandry's Anguish now as well. But we've also got a Kraken Slayer on the Ashe, which is something we expect as the pillar comes in from the Trundle, but the Shen just taunts away under the tower.
Again, really important. Oh, okay, we got Bard in. Again, ganking and using the spot.
As the Stand United is coming in, we're looking at a 4v2 in this bot lane as the TP also comes in from Autumn. The Autumn does have a Vanguard's edge. Will Autumn be able to carry this fight? As he jumps onto Sin Leviel, but he gets taunted as Ragged Reese has to just walk away from the rest of his team.
Again, I know the gold lead's only 1.8k, but again, this is starting to look a bit troublesome for Chronicles of Garen mid here. Again, they're trying to make these proactive plays. Again, great response. The Bard, the Poppy coming down, kind of getting this bot lane even further ahead, 6 and 1. So again, I think this is Rocket Academy's game to lose if this keeps going.
Indeed, especially when Sin Leviel is over 1,500 gold ahead of Makashima. It'll be very interesting to see how they play this one with an... Hang on, I'm trying to work out what soul it is, sorry. With an Ocean Soul on the Rift now, there we go. With an Ocean Soul on the Rift after they got their second dragon as they're diving Autumn in that mid lane and they get another kill onto him, but Anivia has to flash as the pillar comes in from Arzivan. But Sin Leviel gets jumped on from Makashima. But Sin Leviel,
I don't think he wins this.
With that Cracker set, as Ard tries to dive the Shen as well and gets taken down top lane. What are you doing right now? As the heal has to come out from Ragged Beast, but the Poppy's coming out as well.
A killer cat here?
Me?
Oh!
That's so sad, but it was so close. We are looking at 21 kills in 13 minutes, with 7 of those kills being on Sin Leviel's Ashe, something that you said would be a very key pick during Champ Select.
Honestly, I don't feel like I have time to breathe now. As soon as I start saying something, immediately there's like, oh yeah, here comes a gank, and there's another gank. I'm not sure what Garen mid are doing here. I really feel like, I don't want to be toxic, but...
What are you doing? As the Trundle tries to get stand up and then gets ulted by... Oh, the pillar does come in onto the Poppy and she gets killed, but the Java just keeps walking up and it's now 0-6-3 into an 8-1-3 Ashe. What are you doing, Makashima? This is completely different to the Java I saw last week.
This is So again, you've got this 8-1 Ash now, and as you can see, you can get on top of the Ash, but it doesn't really matter. If you don't perma CC this Ash, she's just gonna keep walking at you.
Yeah, Aurelia having to flash the wall arc, the wall ult combo from Anivia, as Mordekaiser is trying to work out how he can do damage to this Shen, because this Shen is tanky now with that Balmy Cinder, with those plated steel caps, and a little bit of magic resist. Ooh, I'd like to breathe as well.
Yeah, just take 1 or 2 minutes, because this is non-stop action.
Indeed, Mordekaiser does actually have that Riftbreaker complete, though. We're seeing Mythics completed all over the board, apart from Bard has his Mythic as well, but the only players who don't have their Mythic are, as we get into another fight, we see these auto attacks coming in from the Trundle, as the enchanted comes in onto Bakashima, and he is just he Cataclysm, but he just doesn't, as the Stand United also is used for good measure, and another double kill, 10, 1, and 3 onto that Ash.
So we're now at 25 kills in 15 minutes, which is
25 kills in 15 minutes and 4k gold ahead.
For a lot more.
That is almost 3k gold ahead in terms of Ash versus Jarvan. As the pillar comes in onto the Poppy, but the Poppy goes in for the stun as the Flawless Duet comes out just to dissuade that engage. As a TP comes out from the Shen, and the Bard ultimate also missing. This Trundle was happy feeding everything until that taunt landed, and that was a taunt flash and, well, TP taunt flash from the Shen. Woo!
I mean, this is one.
As we see Shirley being taken by Academy.
I think Ash might get caught here.
There. You analyze this. As we see another possible play onto the job.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I can't even keep up. I'm trying to keep up as much as I can, but this is, and here we go. We've got the Ash going on the Jarvan.
The comes in as the Jarvan does not have his Cataclysm up right now. But the TP also comes in onto S11. This will be a huge.
Wow.
Oh my god! As the TP comes in.
And the Ash gets out.
How much health did he get? He got off on 6 health, ladies and gentlemen. 6 health. That is absolutely insane. The TP was used. Autumn tried to walk down. Everything was used. I cannot believe Sin Leviel got away. That was absolutely fantastic from play as he picks up his second item, the Renard's Hurricane.
I know you spoke so highly of the Jarvan pick, but right now, just looking at it...
Yes, I hyped it up a bit too much.
Oh, I think maybe we've cursed it. I'm not sure, but I mean...
it's what we call in the business a caster curse, right?
Yep, big one. But I mean, this Ash now, I mean, you've got a Shen ult. How do you kill this Ash? I think you could go all in on the Ash, and maybe you get the kill, but it's going to take quite a bit of time. Then you've still got the rest of the champions to worry about. And I can't see a way back for Garen mid here. I mean, maybe they proved me wrong.
Garen, I think what they need to do is start winning the smaller skirmishes before they can take the bigger team back. Because in the smaller skirmishes, with Autumn being so, well, in my opinion, Autumn is still a tad ahead of Steenson. But I think it will be very difficult, and they need to make picks on the side lanes and get not Jarvan into the game, but Aurelia further into this game than she already is, with that Bork and the Phage already completed, going for that Divine Sunderer. But the C comes in and the Ignite comes out from the Bard, and Bard gets a kill as the ult comes out from the Bard.
We're gonna have more.
And the flash comes out from Anivia, but they can't do anything about it as the Flag and Drag comes out from the Jarvan.
I just want to say as well, I think this Poppy pick is absolutely huge. Not only has it been stopping the Yuumi from being able to jump on people, the combination with Anivia, the denial of the Jarvan, and also the Aurelia engage, this Poppy pick, again, is really showing up here and just showing like perfectly how to use it against this comp.
3, 1, and 11, especially, you skill check them, you ability check them. If you get CC, I press my W. As you see Ard running away from the Poppy.
Just completely shutting down most of these plays. If Poppy's there, it's all about this Poppy W, and again, been using it perfectly so far.
Yeah, and it's a shame because I quite liked the dive that the Garen mid, Chronicles of Garen mid had, but it's just been cancelled every single time. And what do you do?
It's been answered.
Yeah, it has. It's been answered very, very well.
I think the pathing from Power Fruit here has actually been really, really nice. Every time there's been a play, or every time that Team Garamid have made a play, the Poppy arrives, and it's like,
huge,
what are you going to do? I'm here.
As we see Makashima possibly get caught out again as the Enchanted Crystal Arrow misses. But the Cataclysm is used onto the Ash and the Death Drum as well. So Sin Levio really has to use his heavy meat, but he's just auto-attacking and the slows are coming in.
Oh, he's down.
Odd gets a shutdown onto the Ash, but Papa Sexy gets a kill onto the Yumi, and Poppy kills Ard as well as Autumn finally gets into this fight, and the Flawless Duet lands onto two of them, and the Autobot and Anivia's passive got popped. However, she got killed as the stun comes in onto the Trundle, and they all get killed, and the emote for good measure as Makashima tries to get out, and that is a 20-minute ace just as Baron Nashor spawns.
I mean, again, they took the Ash into the Death Realm, but it's just not enough. All of your lanes are behind here. Your jungler's behind. You are in a horrible position. And honestly, if I was Team Garen mid here, I would be just looking at next draft, trying to stay nice and relaxed, and just focusing on game 2, because they have to pull out the works here in order to turn this game around.
I could not agree more. This 4 melee into 3 range pick really not working out for them this game. So I'm hoping to see a little bit more range. The Java pick into an Ash Bard, putting that bot, was a very risky place to put it.
Huge risk. Again, I'm quite interested. Maybe the Aurelia was a good match for the Anivia. Maybe, in their heads. But I think this Jarvan's been completely abused. Even the Jarvan into Anivia I don't think is too good. But I would have much preferred, I think, to seen the Aurelia just to go to the bot side. Just to get onto both of those two characters and just destroy them.
You're right. I think you're right also about saying that they should just look. They could just look towards that game 2 as Sin Leviel picks up his Quicksilver Sash to cancel that CC, as we see them, the wall come up from the Anivia, and Ard dies 1-5-1 as Ragged Reese also dies. The bot laner are a combined 0-17 right now as the Death Drum comes out, but Steenson is now 5-11 on a rampage.
This could possibly be an end. If they play this right, this could be looking at an end possibly. Definitely an inhib.
As we see them push into that mid lane, but they do have a wave coming, so they can keep going. There are 3 down. Ard does have a 20-second death timer right now as Papa Sexy is pushing that top tower.
Yeah, I think they can do this. I mean, what do you do against Garen mid here? Jump in, the Poppy presses W.
Yeah. I think you're looking to ban this Poppy if... I don't know if Ragged Reese... I don't know if Chronicles of Garen mid have any bans this entire series because of that emergency sub. If they don't, they are probably just looking to run that same comp back unless they can find an answer.
I mean, yeah, I think it's up to... Oh, here we go.
Nakashima just walks in, and there's not a lot they can do right now. They have to try and defend further. They have to try and defend their last Nexus Tower as well as their tier 2s, tier 3s, another inhib. But I find it a very difficult way unless they somehow get a pick onto Sin Leviel or the Poppy. But even if they do, the Shen can stand united in as they go for this Dragon Soul point in 23 minutes.
I think there was a flash on the top side there from Papa Sexy as well, just getting away from the Trundle Mordekaiser. Again, I think Wise giving up the Drake. You can't contest it at this point. Maybe try and flip for Elder. Get your burger flipping skills ready. See if the Garen mid can try and get their Elder and see if they can turn it around.
It's so hard they call you the skillet.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they're gonna have to really bring out their skillet skills right now. You know, I'm honestly trying to work out what they could do, but it's a very difficult being. It's very difficult being so far ahead. Just for context, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, Sin Leviel is 4,000 gold ahead of this Jarvan.
Huge. 4k. Again, and we've got over a 10k gold lead. Oh, and here we go.
Arrow lands onto the Trundle as Autumn tries to dive in, but now Ragged Reese is left on his own, and they both die as the Mastery emote come out, and the Bard is just chasing this, and the Bard is chasing the Trundle down as the double kill comes out for Anivia, and the Poppy gets a third. The Death Drum comes out onto Steenson, who has passive. Will the passive get popped? We'll find out next time on Dragon Ball Z. Gets killed. Passive doesn't even get popped, and now the march down the mid lane to end the game in 24 minutes.
I just want to draw attention to the score of 37-6. I respect, Chronicles of Garen Mid trying something here, but I think go back to the drawing board, go back to basics, and just think. I think you tried a really risky comp and it did not pay off for you. So again, thinking Garen Mid, go back to something a little bit more simple, something that's practiced, really, really ready to go.
Yeah.
And I think Rocket Academy do exactly what you've just done this game. Keep the Ash, keep the Anivia. Maybe the Bard could be a swap, possibly if they need to, but yeah, I think Rocket are in a really comfortable position at the moment.
Yeah, I think as much as I really like the way that they play, I think they lacked a lot of consistent damage. They had a lot of burst, and Autumn was their only source of consistent damage. Did really really well into that in the early game into that Anivia, but then got outscaled hard by the Anivia, and especially when the Poppy was coming in, and they had the wall stun combo from the Poppy Anivia, and it was very very difficult for Garen Mid in general to come back from it. But yeah, that's as I
Yeah,
think one thing
yeah,
that's important to note is I think one thing that's important to note, this is a best of 5 series, so there is
yeah.
a chance to come back for the Chronicles of Garen Mid as we go to a break before game 2 starts.
Definitely, I think we're going to see something completely different game 2, especially from Garen Mid. I expect Rocket Academy do what you've done. It's worked game 1. Let's see what happens game 2.
Indeed. We'll go to a breakdown for a few minutes, but when we come back, we'll have game 2 nice and ready for you, and we'll go straight into Champ Select.
Welcome back, everyone. So we're soon going to be going into our second draft. Again, first game was an absolute fiesta and absolute fighting everywhere. Daydream, have you got any quick thoughts? What really stood out to you in that last game?
Chandra got stomped.
Yeah, pretty much.
putting Jarvan, who's such a heavy engage, into a very heavy disengage bot lane. I
Yeah.
I don't know. I know Reese is in chat. I don't know if that was it, Chief. I'll be honest.
Honestly, I wonder how he's feeling after that last game, because that must have been miserable to play, like continuously.
There are some league purists, however, that would argue that because Reese played Yumi, it's his just desserts. But I don't
Mm.
think no one does. I don't think any bot lane deserves to end up going 0-20.
Yes, that's pretty rough. I'm gonna
It
be
was
honest.
rough.
0-20. Yeah, I'm not having the best game. Sorry, guys. It's kind of what I'd be turning around.
But
But
looking forward to game 2, I want to see Garen mid play a more standard comp. I want to see them play more front to back, have more consistent damage. They had consistent damage, but they didn't get far enough ahead.
definitely, yeah, I couldn't agree. I couldn't agree more. Just having a comp, like they pulled out a risky comp, which fair enough, good to give it a go. But now, kind of bring it back, kind of match Rocket Academy and what they did.
Yeah, as we go into the Champions Select 4 game 2, TCGM do not have their first 3 bans. And you're right, Marjorie, I do want to see the Chronicles of Garen mid play Garen mid.
I mean, if last game, I mean, I would have loved to have seen that last game, because I think it would have been perfect for that comp. You've got the Garen Yumi there, why not?
Exactly. I mean, playing Garen Yumi, it gives us a throwback to Season 9, gives me
Yep.
trauma.
Go back in time and let's see how it goes. Right, so we have got Swain.
That's the Swain ban, and they're going to ban out Reese's supports as we see the first 3 bans get lost. And the Champ Select livery that we have is probably going to throw a fit right now because it doesn't like it.
I think it's going to be the exact same bans. I don't think at the moment after that showing, what does Rocket change? And I think the answer is absolutely nothing.
Yeah, especially if they get these 3 bans, especially with these 3 bans that they cannot have. The Chronicles of Garen are going to have a very, very difficult time.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if we see the Yumi again. I don't think that's going to come out.
I
think
don't
it's going to
think we
be.
will either. I don't think we'll
Yeah,
see the Yumi again. I don't think it was very. If they were going to play a comp like that, I would have wanted to see more engage than they had with the Yumi. Something like a Nautilus, like a Leona that can dive onto that line and help
yeah,
the Jarvan engage as well. But we didn't.
yeah.
So
I think the Yumi was so dependent on lanes getting ahead, and it just never happened.
yeah, that's that third Nasus ban.
And yeah, we're just waiting for the.
We're waiting for the last non-ban from TCGM,
Yeah,
and then we'll get into the first round of picks, and then you can talk. Then we'll have a chat about what happens there. I don't want to see the Jarvan. If I see the Jarvan, I'll be mildly annoyed because the Jarvan. I mean, it's matchup dependent, right? But after last showing, I loved it last series, Nakashima. Don't get me wrong, but last game it just didn't go well for you guys
I
with the
think
Jarvan mid.
yeah, and I think
As that Ash from Sin Levy, the Ash coming out from Sin Levy will be very, very key as well.
such a good pick. I mean, just had a great game 1 on it. Run it back. Let's see what happens. I think Ash's vision that she provides is going to be so good. So great first pick.
Into this Ash, I want to see a more. You either match the scaling or you go very aggressive. As we see the Ezreal, we see it match the scaling, right? We see it.
Yep. So again, Ezreal should outscale the Ash, I believe. Well, actually, Ash really later on really caused a lot of chaos. But Ezreal really safe. Again, there's not going to be a bot lane that's 0-8 this game, hopefully.
Running back that top lane matchup as well. I don't know about this. I don't know about the Maud into the Shen. The Shen early does a lot more damage than the Maud until the Maud can actually get item and unless he also gets Jungle Pressure. But we see the Jarvan. Oh wow. Oh,
I have to say, I really quite like the comp that's coming off of Rocket Academy here. Again,
yeah.
you've run back that match, the Shen versus Mordekaiser, which was kind of left on an island, and Papa Sexty seemed to have the better of Oz Vigilant. Sorry if I've got that wrong. And again, you're picking away that J4. Again, not necessarily know it was a pick away, but
What I like now from the Chronicles of Garen mid though is they are going a very, very different route. They're going with a scaling route. You have the Ezreal, you have the Orianna, they want to scale into that late game. They want to be able to just farm. They want to be able to get through that early game, and they want to be able to get to that late game where they can actually do a lot of damage. So we're going to see a lot of tiers coming out hopefully not from one team crying, but from the scaling that the Chronicles of Garen Mid will have.
So we've got an I think the Anivia ban's really, really key here. I think again Steenson had a really bad early game, but again kind of really pulled it back.
As we see two mid lane bans come in as well, but there are no supports have been picked. No supports have been two supports have been banned on the side of Rocket Academy pinching Reese's Champool. But I am fully expecting to see a jungle pick here and leaving support counter for Ragged Reese. And
I think
I see
just
Ragged Reese on more of an engaged support as well.
yeah, I think just a little bit of urgency now is what you need. The Ezreal's going to scale, the Orianna's going to scale well, the Mordekaiser Shen matchup's not bad. Okay, really safe bot lane.
Not what I was expecting. I was expecting something more like a Braum, because I think a Braum fits their composition really, really well right now, especially with that Unbreakable. When he throws it up, can stop a lot of things. So, but they do have a lot of sustain in that bot lane, and what I want to see now from Rock Academy to match this is huge damage as we see the Lucian come out into that Orianna.
I really like the solution. So at the minute, what I'm looking at with Garen mid is there's so much scaling there, but if you don't let that team scale, they're in trouble.
I'm surprised
so again,
they picked the Soraka, but yes, I see what you mean.
So I think the Lucian matching the Orianna, that Orianna's going to have quite a tough time. Again, I'm interested in this support pick coming through. Again, more harass.
It's a very, very aggressive lane. But this is what I wanted from Garen mid. I wanted them to play either a very, very aggressive lane into that Ashe and shut that Ashe down early, or I wanted to play them to play like full scaling up. Ezreal Soraka, whilst it's great, obviously the Soraka uses her own health to heal the health of another champion. But the Hecarim's coming in, and if this comes in, I really, really like it here for them.
Yeah. Okay, good. I completely agree. I think the Hecarim's needed because I feel all of these lanes, maybe not the Mordekaiser, they want to scale. And I think if you've got that all across the board, especially looking at the enemy with such engage and such kind of threat, you're not going to get to that scaling point and you're just going to lose tower after tower and be in a hard spot. So Hecarim, great pick.
Yeah, I quite like I quite like what Hecarim brings later on into the game, where he has obviously the fear with his ult, which allows the Mordekaiser to bring them all in for a shockwave if the ball delivery system is actually properly in place. So I'm really, really looking forward, and Orianna Hecarim is one of my favorite mid jungle duos as well.
Yeah, very much so. I think one thing that I'm instantly kind of seeing that if I was going mid, and I kind of hope they notice this, is again their main threat is Lucian and Ashe. If you buy Tab Eyes here, okay, to stop those auto attacks coming through, again that's going to be really huge. So I hope Hecarim and Mordekaiser look towards those Tab Eyes, because I think that's just going to be a great way of just nullifying a lot of the damage from Rocket Academy.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this as we can talk about these comps a little bit more from like a zoomed out perspective, I guess, looking at them as a whole rather than individual matchups. And I'm thinking about the late game, and I'm thinking about how much how much damage Rocket Academy will do if they are allowed to get ahead. You have Cataclysm into Stand United, which is a huge engage. Add in the Enchanted Crystal Arrow, you're looking at an almost team wipe, especially with a team, especially when you have a team that has a Soraka, someone squishy like that, who can just get eradicated, especially if she has been healing. So I'm hoping that she builds a little bit of tank early. But as a support mate, I know you want the AP early so that you can so that you have a bigger heal. I was playing a game the other day as a Soraka, and my jungler was in awe at how much healing I did. when I got later on into the game, because it's Soraka healing, especially when you're at lower health, is absolutely obscene. I think it's what 55%.
It's a huge amount. I'm not sure the exact numbers. I'll be honest. I think here, like just in terms of what both teams are doing, I think Rocket are just going to look to accelerate this game, completely use those pick potentials that you've spoken about. Well, I actually think it's going to be harder for Garen mid here. I think the Hecarim's a great pick to kind of equalize the lanes. But I think if this is a 0-0 game, going into the later stages, it might favour Chronicles of Garen mid. But there is amazing engage from Rocket Academy, and they can pull the trigger whenever they want.
Yeah, the only thing I kind of dislike about the Chronicles Garen Mid comp is the lack of engage that they have into that Ash Lux, I would have wanted to see engage something like a Leona, like a Nautilus, even a Braum. I would have taken a Braum here because it would have blocked a lot of the damage coming out from the Lux and the Ash. But they've instead gone for an Enchanter support here.
Yeah, I think if Academy gets ahead early, this is going to be hard for Garen mid, and they're going to need to make it into a long, slow game. Yeah.
They want Rocket Academy want to get ahead early.
Yeah,
They want
definitely.
to stop that scaling from happening.
Yeah, and I think I guess you've just got to play around the Mordekaiser and the Hecarim. I'm not sure how the Mordekaiser Shen matchup goes.
Early,
Again,
I think Shen wins. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
Shen wins early.
So I think this is the question: what winning lanes do you have as Garen mid? Bot Ash Lux. I think the Ezreal Soraka are going to get poked out.
Well, yeah.
Mid, you've got Lucian into Orianna. That Orianna's going to be trying to throw out abilities, but if Lucian catches her with press the attack, she's going to lose half her
A
HP.
lot of damage. Yeah.
And then if Shen beats Mordekaiser early, please correct me in chat if we're wrong. You've got 3 losing lanes there. So again, if these Jarvan ganks come in, which is again renowned in the early game, I think this is a hard game for Garen mid, and I'm going to favour for a 2-0 Rocket Academy here if I had to predict anything.
On the other hand,
Ooh.
I'm gonna go for a 1-1 here.
I hope so.
I think that whilst they have those losing lanes, yes, you're right, they do have a few losing lanes. But I think that they can actually get through those losing lanes if they scale through that game.
Yeah, I
can load into game quickly.
Oh, yeah. I think I completely agree. Just while we wait for the pause, I think if they can get it to 25 minutes and be even, then I think, or like 30 minutes, then I think the game turns around. Especially if Mordekaiser gets ahead with like Soraka healing. I think that's just going to be painful to kill that.
Pause at 10 again.
Yep, sounds good.
Oh.
6,
8, 9, 10.
Yeah, I'm on 10.
All right. As we get into game 2 of this best of 5 series between Team Rocket and the Chronicles of Garen mid, but still no Garen mid. I also want to see it. If we can get enough spams in chat for them to play Garen mid, they might just play it. We never know.
Yes, definitely. I think get that Garen mid being spammed in the chat. Let's do it. I want to see it. I think it'll be hella spicy.
So we're looking at a somewhat standard defense. We've got we got a somewhat standard 5-point defense from both teams as both junglers have recalled and gone for their Oracle lenses. What do you think? What do we want to see early from both teams?
I think again getting this Hecarim doing some work, I think is going to be really, really important. Just scale. Don't die to any early kind of cheese ganks. Get to like level 5, level 6 for Chronicles of Garen mid, I think. But I think Rocket can just put their foot on the gas. If they get ahead, I do not like. I wouldn't like to be on Garen mid if Rocket start getting an early lead.
Yeah. So as we get into the first camps, we can talk slightly about the runes. Nothing really that stands out to me. Not the Halo Blaze Jarvan that we saw last time. The more bruisery Conquer Jarvan that we normally see in the jungle. Sin Leviel going for a longsword start with lethal tempo, which I find a little bit interesting. As Shen goes in for the grass prop onto the Mordekaiser, it does a bit more damage. But other than that,
I think the lethal tempo on Ash is actually quite good because I think Halo Blades on Ezreal is not really going to work too well. And speaking of that,
as we see the Jarvan coming in, as the only flash does have to come in from the level 2 gank from the Ezreal, from the Jarvan, I mean. That's what I mean. Now they've lost all pressure in the lane. As Ard is going on to Papa Sexy, this is a completely different matchup. As Ard also gets the level 2.
And he walked away at the level 2. I'm guessing he was on cooldown. Oh.
As we see, as the flash comes in from Arzivin, as we see the barrier also come in, as the Lucian walks up, ignites auto attack, and the first blood goes on to Steenson. Not a good start for Garen mid. That's 2 flashes down, a ghost down on your Hecarim. Your bot lane is gonna end up losing pressure. It's gonna be a very difficult game already for them.
And a poor game. Oh, and we have Mordekaiser going mid as well here.
The flash comes out from Steenson after the Nether Grasp. After Death's Grasp comes out. Sorry, Nether Grasp is Malzahar's ultimate.
I just want to say, lovely here by the Jarvan. Actually, really risky. He's only cleared 1 camp, and he's ganked 2 lanes, got a flash and a kill. Risky play, but again, paid off, and that's exactly what you want for Rocket Academy early game.
And I'm expecting now to see this a contest between the Jarvan and the Hecarim for this Scuttle Crab, as we see Jarvan walking up towards it as Hecarim is doing his red buff. Maybe there won't be a contest, because even though top has prio, Jarvan is just taking it, as we see the top lane walk down now.
Yeah, I think that Hecarim just gonna slow things down a little bit and go, right, let's calm down. We're not that strong at the moment. Let's just take our time. Yeah, I think if there was more info mid, like if they knew the Lucian had recalled, you could easily like 2v1 maybe the Jarvan. It would have been really good.
As the face check comes in from the Orianna, and the Lightbringer comes in. No flash, so she can't come in, and she has to back again. There is Orianna is having a torrid time, but is still ahead in the CS.
Yep.
As we see again, Lucian walk forward, and the face rush comes out, giving her a little bit more mobility, and they shake hands and walk away. Jarvan is getting kind of low though, so he's got to be careful. A big reminder: no TP for either mid laner. As the taunt comes out from the Shen. This is the early damage I was talking about from the Shen. You land that taunt, you get that grass proc.
Yeah, again, so it is. Well, hopefully it's free. Well, got another gank from Jarvan here. Here we go.
As the smoke comes out from the Jarvan, the Flanker Drake also comes out. Straka with flash and heal. Ashe flashing forward as the Ashe gets the kill. Sin Leviel onto the board now. 8 CS ahead and now a kill. 4.5 minutes in.
Oh, Hecarim top.
1.2k gold ahead. As Hecarim also tries to go top, but Shen walks away.
So I mean, I think this is exactly this is my fear about Garen mid at the moment. You haven't got a lane to play through, and if this keeps going, again, like mid being heavily shoved in, bot under pressure, you need to have a winning lane. Otherwise, what are you going to do when you're mega behind? You're not going to scale. It's going to be scary for them.
Oh, it's a very, very rough early game now, as we see Ard taking a recall, getting himself a blasting one, and teleporting back into the lane. Artviand also being very, very low as the Lucian walks in, lands a light slinger, and piercing light, and absolutely murders the Orianna in the mid lane. 0-2-0 for the Orianna, 2-0-0 for the Lucian.
And we know, like, Lucian, again, I know Riot tried to get Lucian out of the mid lane. Again, he's been really, really strong in bot with Anami, but again, you're kind of seeing the power and the combo that this champion can do. Just kind of walking straight at Orianna, going, what are you going to do in the early game? And just hitting him a huge amount of damage.
1.3k gold ahead now in 6 minutes for Team Rocket mid. Just a reminder that the Chronicles of Garen mid did 2-0 Abstract Chaos in the last series, as we see Death's Grasp just miss onto the Shen.
So I just want to ask you here, like, what if you're Garen mid now? What do you want to do? How do you react in this situation 6 minutes in?
You want to slow down. You want to slow things down, but you can't. As we see Lucian again walk up as the face rush is broke, but the culling also comes out, doing a mighty amount of damage, taking it down to about 25-30% health. As Steenson is doing an absolute madness onto this Orianna. As we see the top come in from the Shen, taking those tower shots now. As we see Mordekaiser having to flash away, but the Soraka gets killed walking up to the mid lane into the waiting arms of Steenson on a killing spree now, and 20 CS ahead almost.
Yeah, I think this is your worst nightmare. Like, even that culling in mid lane is just so strong. You've got instant priority. You don't need the kill. The Orianna's going to be sitting under tower being like, please help me.
As we see them coming over to contest the blue buff. The stun comes in, the slow comes in, as we see Power Fruit kill Makashima on his signature Jarvan pick.
Oh my lord.
The ultimate disrespect.
Yeah, I mean, killing someone with your own champion is kind of it feels really bad.
Yankers for me.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna say yet, but this is not looking at all good for Garen. Hopefully they can bring it back, and hopefully they can definitely start challenging. But I think if this keeps going, we're going to be looking at game 3 and match point.
Their one saving grace right now is that Autumn is just farming.
Yeah. And to be fair, top as well is quite even as well. We are 43 to 50 CS, actually in favour of Mordekaiser.
Doesn't change the fact that they are 2.5k gold ahead.
Very true.
At 8 minutes.
Yeah, it's a huge goal lead. They've just got to hold it out. If they can get 1 or 2 kills back, perfect. But don't risk it. If it goes too far, you're not going to get back into this game.
As we see, the Jarvan now has his level 6, has that Cataclysm to initiate those fights now. Whew. As we see, oh. As we see this, the Cunning does come out, the dash comes out as well, and the flash comes forward, and 4-0-0-4. As Autumn cleanses the stun. What are you doing in that mid lane, Steenson? You are obscene. As the flash comes forward from Autumn himself, as he is happy feeding across all of Lux's abilities. Absolutely insane. No flash, no cleanse now. As Leviel's flash is coming up within the next 17 seconds.
Honestly, just Steenson there. Got to take my hat off. Not only gives him the B emote after autoing the Scuttle Crab, but then literally just 1v1s him. I don't think even Makashima got 1 point of damage onto the Lucian. Lucian just ripped him in half.
No, he walked away and then dashed back in. It's kind of a...
Oh.
As we see the Death Rush coming in at the red buff as Ard is trying to walk over. Level 7 Ard into a level 6 Power Fruit and level 9 Lucian. As the Shockwave also comes in, but the Stand United comes in as well. As we see the fear onto the Lucian, but Steenson just does too much damage as we see the walk up to Ard now as the Death Grasp comes in. Pepper Sexy gets a kill. Lucian now 5-0-1 and a free red buff as well. 3.8k gold lead at 10.5 minutes.
And I mean, I've just got to say it.
Garen mid. Then onto Ragged Reach, sorry about that. But the auto attack also coming in, just keeping the slowing down as the true shot barrage comes out. But Leviel, now low himself, the arcane shift on cooldown. Sorry about that. We're back to
No, not at all. Immediately, it could be a fight. I think Garen mid, you needed some early game. And I think you're just seeing the power that early game has. If you're behind and you're scaling, you're not going to get to that point. So I think I would have loved to have seen more aggressive picks from Garen mid, and hopefully we'll see it game 3.
I'm hoping we do see those game 3 as well. It's interesting that we're looking forward to that so early, even though people like Autumn are scaling right now. Has that Phage, has that Sheen, and that Tear scaling quite nicely. Orianna, on the other hand, only has 2 amplifying terms as the stun, as the snare lands, and the slow does as well. Ezreal's starting to put that damage in, but True Shot Barrage is on cooldown. As Orianna is also starting to roam down as well, but there are wards there. As we see the flash coming in from the Shen. And the Death Grasp also comes in, the W. As we see the barrier come out from Lux, there are 2 fights going on, one in the top lane, one in the bottom lane. As Ard is walking down, dies to the Jarvan, as Makashima also dies to Lux in between the tier 1 and tier 2 towers. As a barrier comes out from the culling, and dies anyway. 601 with that Gale Force damage onto Steenson. 3 lanes, 3 fights, can't cover them all at the same time.
This is all
As Autumn comes in with the true shot barrage.
Oh, lovely pick.
On to Impress. What that is huge for Autumn. It accelerates his scaling just that little bit more. And now he has to be their condition, the one that they play around.
I mean, yeah, I mean, it's going to be a big task for Autumn here, but I do agree if anyone is going to try and carry this game, it is going to be Autumn.
Mid with one plate remaining though. Will they get a second charge?
I hope so. I think hopefully Jarvan should shadow here, but maybe Jarvan's gone just to counter jungle. No second charge.
30 CS behind, just until about 2 seconds ago. 2 levels up. This Jarvan is so far ahead right now. Apt played this matchup absolutely fantastically in the way that we expected. I didn't expect him to get this far ahead, but Steaton is insane as we see the charge coming in and missing as we see the second Drake get taken by Rockat, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, this is such a difficult position now for Garen. As I think Makashima is in a lot of trouble here. Shen just auto-attacking 3/4 of his HP.
So Shen right now with his, especially with the Barbie Sinner, his auto attacks when you get the grasp. But as the Stand United was used bot lane and they're diving that bot lane, and the Cataclysm comes in from Power Fruit onto Autumn as he's running away. But Ragged Reese is now all on his lonesome under that tower. The Wish just off cooldown as Power Fruit is still taking damage. As the Gordricker does so much healing, but the Orianna gets the kill onto the Jarvan with the command attack and Dissonant as Theta comes in. Gets legendary, but the fear comes in from the Hecarim. Will this be a shutdown? He does, he smites that away, gets that nice 700 gold shutdown onto the Hecarim. 1-4-0. Stevenson now 8-1 and 1. Still absolutely huge. Has that Gale Force, has that Essence Reaver and the Berserker Greaves compared to the Oriana's Lost Chapter Sork Shoes. Absolutely stomping this mid matchup.
So yeah, I think that shutdown's really, really big, but when you start looking at the gold, it's 6k in 14 minutes. That is such a huge lead. I think in the last game that it was at least 20-25 minutes at least before we even saw 6k on the mark. So this is a really difficult position, I think, for Garen mid.
What do you think? Well, how do you think Garen mid can get back into this?
Honestly, this game it's gonna take a few mistakes from Rockat, and I think you're looking at trying to get this game as long as possible. Get it to 30-40 minutes, and just trying to get little skirmishes where you have advantages.
Now the Charging Crystal Arrow lands onto Auto and he Arcane shifts away, but the auto attacks are coming in from the Sin Levio and the Hawk Shot comes out as well. But he somehow manages to thread 2 shots from the volley in between Autumn and doesn't hit him at all. But Steenson's here trying to set that red buff and he does so much damage and the Kali comes down. Poor Makashima gets absolutely 3-shot. As we see the red buff still coming in as well. Double buffs on to Steenson pushing into that mid lane again. 40 CS up now. And 2 levels up on Arsviand. Oh man.
This is. I just think next game, early pressure. You need it because it's 15 minutes in and it feels like an absolute mountain.
I want to see engage from the Chronicles of Garen mid.
Yeah, they're just playing reactively at the moment.
I want to see them make a play, but with the champions they have, with the only champion I could see able to make a play are Orianna, Hecarim. But even then, the Orianna is. Hang on, let me quickly pull it up. 5k down.
Yeah, 5k.
Onto Caesar as the Mordekaiser comes in, as Ard comes in, flashes on, presses the W, Death Blast comes in, as Lucian just does so much damage, and the second shutdown comes on in the death round for Ard. Grabs his stats as well as Sin Leviel comes in. It's a devastating charge. The devastating charge is here, and they are going to get Sin Leviel. That's a 350 gold shutdown onto Autumn. This Sunra doing so much damage as the True Shot Barrage also comes out as they're looking to dive Impress down. The devastating charge is looking to come out again as the slow is there for the Lux.
I think they're waiting for the wave to come in. I think if they go early, they will be in a lot of trouble.
Dive Impress is doomed here. As the Stand United does come in though, but as the Cataclysm also goes, Autumn is trapped inside the Cataclysm of Nakashima. As the Shockwave also comes in, that is a lot of damage. As the poke just starts coming out from the Ezreal, absolutely fantastic. That Sunra doing so much work. Now with a fully stacked tier. And the Enchanted Crystal Arrow comes out. Ragged Reese is lovely so low, no wish. He does have the heal though, if they did want to go back in, but they want to disengage now. Autumn, 3-1-0 now, with a Divine Sunderer and a fully stacked Tear of the Goddess as Steenson comes in.
Oh,
Autumn just doesn't do enough damage. As we see the Cullen come in as double kill for Steenson onto that bot lane. 11, 2, and 1. 12, level 12 with 2.5 items going towards that LDR. Tell me what they could do, please. Just elucidate. Well, what the hell can they do to get back into this?
Oh, I think so. I just want to say there. Actually, Impress almost got out of that fight in bot, and it was only because Autumn saw and got a really lovely Q that he died. So again, really well played by Impress and Autumn. But I think it's so hard now. You've got to get incredibly lucky. Lucian is just out of control at this moment. Lucian can probably fight any person. Maybe not Mordekaiser in the ult, but I think anyone else he can 1v1, and in a team fight he's going to rip through Garen mid. So it's going to be really difficult, but there's a really slim chance. And
there is.
Hopefully maybe it'll be 1-1.
One thing I will say is that the Cross Pyramid do have a lot of utility. They have that Shockwave, they have that Wish, they have the Hecarim, they have the Onslaught of Shadows from the Hecarim, they have the Death Rune, which can take the Lucian out temporarily of a fight. As the bot lane, Sin Leviel and Impress. Oh, with Nakashima in the shot.
No.
As the Onslaught of Shadows has to be used, the Stand United comes in, and the flash volley from Sin Leviel comes in, and ours is 1-5-2 now as he gets taunted up. Flash used by Sin Leviel though to land that volley.
Just out of, again, just such those Ashe slows coming through at that point. That Orianna was never getting away in such a difficult position. It's just all one-sided at the moment. I hate to say it. I don't want to say it.
Poking into two of them as Mordekaiser gets a second kill of the game and another shutdown onto Steenson. But on the flip side, Arsvian and Makashima both die in the mid lane in a tier 2 fight, in a tier 2 tower fight.
But I just want to say, in both of these games, Autumn's been playing quite well. Autumn we saw in the mid lane last game with the Aurelia, had a really good early. And again, on the Ezreal, has kind of been the only hope. But we've seen, like, mid this game has been really one-sided in Roccat. And then, obviously, last game, the Ashe into the Jarvan. They've got to figure out how to answer or play heavily around Autumn.
Yeah, I think another issue that's going to come up now is this Jarvan's going to start doing a lot of damage. And with a lot of damage, we see a lot of healing as another fight comes into the top lane with a taunt into a Cataclysm. But the Mordekaiser is outputting a lot of damage. As we see the rest of the team come in, as the silence comes out, and a devastating charge from Makashima comes in, wanting to get his revenge. But no one thought of Shadow to chase up as the taunt comes out again. But the final spark comes out, and the True Shot Barrage picks up power through. Absolute American sniper style right there.
I mean, Autumn at the moment is playing really well. Again, on a late scaling Ezreal, so...
Again, Arsvian has nothing he could do. I do apologise for cutting you off. But
no, not at all.
Nothing he can do there.
No, I mean, again, just I would love to have seen Autumn on something really aggressive here, because he's shown. Maybe that Aphelios. I think that Aphelios has been open twice in a row. Why not pick it up?
Fortune as well.
I think
as we see the devastating charge coming from the Hecarim onto Sin Leviel, but the smite comes out as well as the Stand Unite comes in for the shield, and Makashima dies. That shield you get from the Stand United is absolutely huge.
And I hate to say it as well, but I know obviously they've had an E-sub in, but I think these first rotation picks of the Shen, the Ashe, that combo of the Shen and the Ashe in both games have been devastating. Sin Livial just does not die because the Shen keeps ulting, shuts down, huge shield, and they're not going to get him off it either. They can't pick these. They can't pick these champions away or ban them. They need to find an answer in the next game if it comes out again.
Indeed. One thing I will say though is that Mortem is scaling very nicely now as Divine Sunder and Muramana are complete with his Lucidity boots. So I'm really, really looking for Autumn to be that big damage carry, and I'm really also hoping that Hecarim goes for a tankier build from here on out. Goes into that Sterak's, goes into that Dead Man's Plate, gets that movement speed buff. If not, it's looking very difficult for them.
Yeah, it's gonna be. This is gonna be a really hard game to pull back. And I just want to compare the Orianna's items with Lucian. Lucian's got 3 items and boots to just 1 Orianna, who is just sitting on a Luden's Tempest there, that's a huge difference. There's no way Orianna can go anywhere near this Lucian with 3 levels behind as well.
3 levels and now 7k gold behind, as we're looking at about 9k gold deficit for Garen mid.
The arrow misses as well.
The Enchanted Crystal Arrow did miss. Did a field goal. Get 2 points for that in American football.
And yeah, it looks like again. I imagine
to just go in, get silenced. The Stand United does come out. The Flagon Drag also comes out. The Flagon Drag misses, but the Flash Taunt gets onto Ragged Reese's Autumn. It is now flashed into a second part of the culling. But the Lucian is still doing so much damage. But Papa Sexy Ard puts Papa Sexy into the death run, but also gets taunted towards him. Ard will surely go down to Steenson to be his 14th kill, and he is 14-3-2, and they couldn't kill him. Ard ulted Papa Sexy into that death row. Very confusing. America, explain please, as we see the devastating charge come out onto Sin Levial, and he just gets jumped on by the entire team. Sin Levial now 3-1-3. Autumn's got to be thinking, what the hell do I have to do? I can't grab this by the scruff of the neck because. Whew.
Not only that, you're not on something like a Jinx. You're on an Ezreal. You have single target. You can't buy a Runons. You can't shred through this team. To carry on this Ezreal at this point is going to be so difficult, almost impossible, I would say.
Woo. We have a lull state now.
A nice bit of calm. And I just honestly, if I'm Garen here, Garen mid, I don't know what you do. You are so far behind. Lucian, you need to try and split them up and maybe try and gang up, but then if Rocket Academy play it well, they just take the other side of the map and start ripping open your base.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking at this now. We're looking at a 14-3-3 Lucian with a Guardian Angel, Cyrilda's Grudge now, into an Orianna who's 1-6-2, Luden's Tempest, and a Fiendish Codex. It's rough. Yeah, as we see the True Shot Barrage coming and giving them vision on the fact that they're doing them, but they just can't do anything about it because there's no priority anywhere. They're just that far ahead.
I mean, this is what happens when you draft 3 losing lanes. I hate to say it, but there's no priority.
Oh, the Culling comes out, and the Onslaught of Shadows has to be used to get away. As the Cataclysm comes in onto Ragged Reese, the final spot comes out and misses as well. As the taunt, that was a huge 3-man taunt as the Death Realm is used on Sin Levial, Papa Sexy. But a 3-man shotgun to hopefully get them away as well. As we see the taunt come in onto Arsvian, and it just doesn't come to anything. Some huge ultimates land. A nice death knell onto Sin Levial, a nice shockwave onto 3, but that spirit, that shadow dash in from Papa Sexy onto 3 of them was absolutely insane.
But
they don't even take the Baron. They do take the Baron. They could just end here. Well, they can't end here, but in the next push, the next team fight they win, they surely end here. Mountain Soul, Baron empowered minion, 15k gold lead in 26 minutes. Go, now tell me what Chronicles of Garabid can do, Curly, because I'm lost for words right now.
I am trying to scrape the bottom of the barrel, trying to find anything at all, and it is just empty. Honestly, I think Garen mid here, you've just got to go into game 3. give yourself some early pressure. I think maybe they went to the opposite way. They went really aggressive early game, and now they've just gone too passive. They're not taking this game by the horns. They're just saying, you do what you got to do, Rocket Academy, and we're going to react. And you can see that now. Lucian doesn't care. He's diving past inhibs, trying to kill Autumn, anyone he wants.
The one thing I will say that I'm very surprised at is that Mordekaiser hasn't built a Bramble Vest.
Yeah,
As
what?
the dash forward comes in onto Ragged Reese, and he just gets taken out 15, 3, and 5 for Steenson. I mean, don't step forward. There's a Lucian that could just dash onto you. Uses that Gale Force as well for good measure to make sure he gets it as that push starts coming down the mid lane, and the bottom of the barrel really has to be scraping it now, surely.
Yeah, I think this is going to be, without question, definitely a 2-0.
As Onslaught Shadows comes in onto Steenson, he does have a Guardian Angels, but Stand United is here. Oh, it's your bit. Another 2-man taunt. The final spark comes in, misses. Will they pop Steenson's GA? No, apparently not. As Hecarim gets killed in base, Steenson gets another double kill as they go into this game. Rocket Academy 2-0ing, taking a 2-0 lead against the Chronicles of Garen mid. And it makes me wonder, do they just play Garen mid in this last game? That was 43 kills in 28 minutes. What do they do next game, Curly? Give me 3 things you want to see from them next game.
So, Garen mid, honestly, right now, so your back's against the wall. You are playing best of ones. Okay, you have got best of one, best of one, best of one to turn this around. Throw down the gauntlet. Show some aggression. Bit more of a standard comp than game one. But I think this game, they just let Rocket Academy roll all over them. The draft just was too much in favour of Rocket. They've got to show some early pressure. And bring out a surprise pick. Now's the time. Upset the apple cart. Do something unexpected. And just see if you can get one game back. And then hopefully, maybe they could be looking at a reverse sweep if that happens. But it's a big mountain to climb now for Garen mid, and Rocket Academy looking great. Looking in a great position.
Yeah, I want to see. I want to see more aggression from that support. I want to see engage from Reese.
I want to see Autumn on a big carry here. Really big carry.
Yeah, I think playing Enchanter support into very aggressive into something like an Ash Lux this game is a very difficult thing to do, but
yeah, I think
it's rough, right? It is rough for them right now, and I want to see. I do want to see them go aggressive on that bot lane because I know. I want to see something like a Leona, something that can take that bot lane by the scruff of its horns, the Thresh, anything like that, and have Autumn play something like an Aphelios, a Misfortune, something that he says he didn't want to play, but he might have to bring it out so that his team don't get 3-0'd in this final. Because I want more than 3 games. I'm being honest. I think we want more than 3 games, but they really, really, really have to think about playing something with. Playing at least one winning lane, and that's the way I think they can get back into this series.
Throw down the gauntlet, Garen mid. Show us what you can do. Now's the time.
Yeah. So now we are going to go for a break, but when we come back, we are going to get stuck right in with Game 3 of the Chronicles of Garen mid.
Are you there?
And Team Rocket Academy. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Game 3 of the Chronicles of Garamid against Team Rocket Academy. Team Rocket Academy taking a very dominant 2-0 lead in this series through Steenson and Sinlevial. This Game 3, though, I don't know what I want to see as we get into Champ Select. What do you want to see, look, Curly?
I'm gonna throw a little bit something out there. Because there's no bans, we know the Shen and Ash are gonna go through on Rocket. right? The Shen and Ashe are going to go through. I think play topside, play a heavy split pusher, sign that can punish the Shen, and then give Autumn, because he's been playing really well this series, give him
Hyper
something that can
carry.
fight back, something like a
Mm.
Jinx, something that can just hold out, be strong, and maybe, hopefully, they've brought Papa in, Papa Coca. Let's maybe see that Garen mid. Why not? You've got to do something to shut this Steenson down.
Yes, I want to also see Ragged Reese on an engaged support. It's what they need. I
Yeah.
think no engage, that it will just happen. What happened last game? What happened the game before again?
Maybe the only enchanter combo I can think of is maybe something like a Felios Lulu. Could be really
Aphelios
good.
Lily, very meta. Yeah, very yeah.
Could really work if they want to go for that enchanter, but the Soraka and I'm trying to even think on the first game, the Yumi just didn't work at all.
You just don't pick Yumi anyway. Like honestly,
Yeah,
I think Yumi in the comp they had game one was horrible. I think it was a terrible place to put the Yumi as a champion with
yeah,
four melee laners with no consistent damage.
yeah. The Ash
And I'm,
just ran
expect,
him down.
and I'm expecting them to run the same three first round bans. I'm expecting an Nasus to come out here. There it is.
Yeah,
As we see that Chronicles of Garen Mid are staying red side, hoping to get those counter picks.
let's see
I
some
want to see
aggression.
counter picks. I want to see counter picks for Autumn and for Papa Coca.
Yeah.
So
I'd be quite interested to see what this first pick is. I think let's see some aggression. Let's see a flex pick. Something that can go multiple roles would be perfect here.
indeed. As we see the third non-ban come out for the Chronicles of Garen Mid due to an emergency substitution.
So I think we're going to see the Ash straight away. Great
Mhm.
pick. And we're going to see a Shen to follow for Rockat, but let's head on over to
Unless the
Garen.
Chronicles of Garen Mid pick up the Shen themselves.
I think that could be a great idea.
Oh,
Yeah, they are hovering the Garen. Are we
oh!
seeing it?
If you're going out with a bang, right?
Come on, let's do it.
Well, not with a bang, but with a spin.
Very true. Spin to win. That's what we need.
I'm just getting vibes of that. As we see in Nico. Now that's a flex, actually. That's top mid and support flex there. I like it.
That's quite nice.
Give
It's really good against engage as well, which Rocket Academy have been doing a lot. So again, that big pop blossom that comes through, it can shut down a whole team, especially if it's big.
Exactly. Oh, now they're just teasing us, Makashima.
This is unfair. This is just teasing. If they're going to pick it on pick 5, I'm going to be happy. If not, I'm not too happy about Garen
To be
mid.
fair, Garen
Fiora.
jungle, not bad.
Fiora is a really nice pick. So I think at the moment Fiora is probably one of the strongest top laners. It has also been played mid as well. And answered with a Malphite. So I'm pretty sure with this matchup between Fiora and Malphite, if that Fiora is top lane, which it should be, it's actually Malphite favoured early. I'm pretty sure. If Fiora can scale and get there, it's good.
That's another J4 for Team Rocket Mid. Team Rocket Mid. Team Rocket Academy. Apologies. I again like this. You shut them in a cataclysm as a group, and then rock go boom.
Again, it's the same style. Rocket Academy are telling you what they are doing, and I think the Nico is a great answer.
Keep doing this, please. Oh,
Hike, let's go.
I like this. Now I was saying I want to see some engage. You have engaged now.
That is some
That is heavy engaged.
hella aggression as well. I can see already, like, if the Java and Malphite go in, and then Nico gets a Pot Blossom, that can cause some chaos. That can cause some issues. And I think now you've got to target this mid laner, but what do you ban? Yeah.
Lucian, that's a very very good ban.
And I think from the other side, from Garen mid, you're going to see a Nivea ban as well. They're the two champions that come to mind at the moment.
That's an Ezreal ban. Autumn did play very well on the Ezreal. He kept his team going for over 20 minutes with that scaling that he has.
And just talking about that MF or Aphelios, I think this MF is going to be picked away here from Rocket Academy, and I think we're going to see a Nivea ban now. Just because, again, just what Steenson showed already, those two champions he was deadly on.
Mm.
And it is the Anivia.
But what do you counter into a Nico?
With Nico, so anything with range. So if you give something like
Syndra,
a Ziggs,
Oriana.
Syndra can be really, really good. Nico excels once the E comes through. So once there's a route, Nico plays around her CC. So if there's no CC, he can't
Yeah.
CC it. It's fine. So I'm expecting like a Xerath, a Ziggs, something a bit longer range, something that doesn't have to go melee with Nico.
Yeah.
And with it's here, Garen. Question is, where is it going?
Oh, the Fura's going top. The Nico's going support, I think. No, sorry. The Nico's going.
It could be anywhere. It could even be AD
Mm.
carry. They could play playing mage, AD carry, but I don't know. So it's quite flexible from Garen mid here, which is
This will
quite nice.
be. Oh, that.
The
Corky.
Corki.
You talked a little bit about the longer range. I would. You've got the longer range. You've got the scaling. I like this Corky pick into the Nico.
It's hard for Nico to do anything here. If
Unless she goes
Corki,
in hard early, but the Jarvan could just be around the corner. You never know.
that's very true. And again, we're still to see a jungler come out from the other side, so it could be something like a Garen into a Corki. Yeah, some really interesting picks coming up on Garen mid and a Janna. Okay.
Janna.
I mean, I think that's actually a really nice pick. Just because if they all get on top, Janna presses one button and they are all thrown away. That is,
Indeed.
again, that denial of engage, like the Poppy, is what's coming through with the Janna. Even the Pike, if the Pike E's, knock the Pike away.
As we see the Lee Sin come out into the Jarvan, quite a standard matchup to be honest. I'm just very, very interested to see where this Garen is going. Also, where this Pike is going. Because right now, I'm not seeing Autumn change that Lee Sin.
I know they have until 20 seconds before they decide, but this is quite an interesting comp. So I'm expecting the Nico Pike bot lane because I know like Nico Leona. If you haven't tried it, guys, try it out. You literally just CC any champion on the enemy team and they just explode.
Chain. Yeah, you go Leona Zenith Blade and Zenith Blade Shield of Daybreak into Nico E, and then it's you're there for days.
It's huge, and it's kind of the same with Pike, I believe. The hook, huge slow, Nico E, Pike E, then the Pike just ults and starts finishing people. So I think it's very much CC chain bot.
Okay,
This is going to be interesting.
okay, so they haven't changed. Is it Autumn Pike? Is it Lee Sin Pike bot lane, or is Autumn going in mid again on this Lee Sin?
Honestly,
going jungle.
I mean, I can't see. I think Autumn has to go jungle here. I don't think there's any other champion that can play jungle on that
isn't
team.
too bad actually.
Maybe could work. I haven't actually seen it.
Full on hit.
It could. That would be really interesting. I reckon they're going to give us the Garen mid, to kind of maybe hopefully start the chronicle. You know, start the epic story, or it's going to be kind of the end of their tale. Is what I predict.
Demacia, born and raised.
Yeah.
On the battlefield is where I spent most of my days, spinning and winning and.
God, like it's going to be. This is going to be spicy again. I'm expecting kind of a little bit more of game one, which I think was the better game out of the two, in fairness, for Garen mid.
No, I think game two was, especially for that bot lane. If we're talking in terms of separate lanes, I think for bot lane, game two was definitely better. Autumn scaled. Autumn played really, really well. He was the one keeping his team in it because he was doing a lot of damage. But I like this bot lane if it is what I think it is, because it could be Garen Pike.
Garen Pot. Okay, wow.
But
honestly,
it's very interesting to see the placement of this Garen, because whatever it's gonna be, I think it will go into this Malphite, because Garen into Malphite isn't a bad matchup at all until what's it called? Until the Bramble Vest comes out from the Malphite.
So it is quite. I think the Fiora actually. I think Fiora can be played mid. I'm pretty sure we've seen it occasionally in Worlds, in like one or two occasions, very rarely. But it is an extremely powerful pick. If it gets to its scaling point, it is really hard to contest. And something Corki can be quite safe if played correctly. But if the Fiora gets on top of this Corki is just his little rocket machine is just going to explode.
The thing is, the way Steenson's been playing, I don't
Yeah.
expect it to be a passive Corki.
And it's quite interesting as well because Rocket Academy, it's the same kind of draft. They are telegraphing what they are doing. It's the Ash, it's the Engage. Jarvan again, Engage. You've got that Janna, which Impress has been like on these peely kind of champions. Like the Lux was Poke in the second game. What did he play in the first game? I'm trying to remember.
He played, I believe,
It was with an Ash.
it wasn't Ash because it's been 3 games of Ash. I can't remember.
Not even can I. But he's been
I wish I had that match history up now, but yeah, he's been
this
playing very peely support.
he's been kind of figuring out, okay, what's going to be the problem for our comp? What's going to stop us? And I think this Janna's a great pick. If Garen and Fiora get on top of everyone and Nico ult, he just knocks them away.
Yeah.
So, again, I think a really good pick. Here we go, game 3, life on the line.
Indeed. This is a make or break game, as they say it was, for the Chronicles of Garen Mid. As we get into this game, as we were just all on the loading screens, as we get into this game, I'm hoping to see Chronicles of Garen Mid be a bit more aggressive in that early game. That bot lane is looking nice, juicy, and squishy for the Nico and the Pike. It looks like it is a Nico bot lane based on some of the spells. Nico Pike bot lane. That's a lot of CC, a lot of lockdown, and it's what I want to see from them as I quickly rearrange everything. I'm hoping it's Garen mid, so I put Garen in the mid lane.
I hate to say it, I'd love to see the Garen go top into the Malphite.
Well, yeah, no. I'm guessing it's going to go top into this Malphite. But the biggest issue again is what we had in game 1 for them. It's 4 melee.
Yeah, well, it's not. Oh, yeah, it is for melee. Oh no, yeah, it's going to be difficult. And again, it's about getting on top of that Ash and Corki, who are going to be a threat later on.
Cool.
Right, here we go.
Right, so we see a more unconventional defensive from the Chronicles of Garen mid.
Oh, it looks like it's going to be an invade here.
Yeah. Reese, Curly, what second are you on?
I'm a bit far ahead. What number are you on?
35. As the flash comes in and the flash away from the Janna. What are you on? I'm on 38 now.
40, 41.
Yeah, cool. I just wanted to double check. Because I think I technically forgot to pause. As the flash is an exchange for Janna and Pike.
Okay, quite a nice bit of aggression there as well, which is really...
It's what I wanted to see. And I'm glad I'm seeing it now, as the Garen is going mid into this Corki. And Steenson, come on.
Come on. Yeah, that's uncalled for. No cheeky auto attack. Come on. And I think at the moment, what's quite interesting is, I know it's a really small thing, but 2 wards have been used already from Rocket Academy, which means it's either going to be... Is it 3? So I think AD carrying... Obviously, you have the jungler who's going to instantly swap to sweeper, but it means the bot lane... Again, they have no vision, so when it hits 3 minutes, those wards are going to disappear. Meaning, ganks, it's going to be hard for them to push, because they're going to have no eyes.
Indeed. I'm looking, as we see the Pike, and as we see Nico Pike wait on a ward in that tri-brush as the jungler also comes down. We see, the double stun lands, but Papa Penis Yoka is going to get taken down by Sin Leviel First Blood to the Ash in the bot lane. The bow skewered landed onto Sin Leviel, but the Jarvan was in the right area at the right time.
Oh, we got gank mid in retaliation.
As the Sonic Wave comes in, and Autumn gets the first kill for them onto the Corki.
It's one of those things, if you're Garen mid, you can't let your Garen go behind. That's just natural.
Exactly.
So, that Garen mid's going to be ahead. Oh, here we go.
As Autumn goes in on the Sin Leviel, the E misses from the Nico. Can they get an electrocute proc off though? The Ignite comes in, but Sin Leviel end up dying.
So really nice from Autumn there being able to get out alive as well. Again, I think that's Rocket Academy. Maybe they're getting too confident. They're overstaying there. They didn't count on the Nico coming back so soon.
As we're seeing, the Fiora now push the Malphite into that top lane, as we would expect in this early game.
But I'm pretty sure in this matchup, I just want to check as well. But I'm pretty sure this can be Malphite favored. I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
When
this
it gets
is.
to it, because the sustain that the Fiora has in the lane, as soon as you get that Bramble Vest, is automatically countered by. As the Flagged Drag comes in from the Jarvan and the Ard just flashes away. And now another priority in mid means that Power Fruit can get in there, but Fiora is there. As the spin to win also comes in, and the Fiora flashes forward as well.
Great roam from Autumn there.
Makashima gets a kill onto Power Fruit. Was there a buff transfer? There wasn't a buff transfer.
Oh, I mean, again, such huge aggression from both sides. Again, I really like this from Garen mid. They're doing a lot more pressure. They're trying to actually put their foot onto the game and say, we're not going down without a fight. Last game it felt that way. So, again, this is much more promising to see.
We're at a 300 goal lead at 4 minutes. 4 Garen mid, 6 kills to 2. Evenly distributed across the whole team for now. 2 assists on that Garen.
I think it's good as well they're targeting this mid lane, because if you see, like, obviously the Corki's got a cull. And if this Corki can just activate that cull, he's going to be weak early, as he is normally as well.
And then that scale spike will come much earlier.
Exactly, so if you can try and put this Corki behind and punish that buy.
The riposte coming in from the Fiora, but the auto attack also coming in as the bow skewer misses and goes very, very wide. But the tornado is coming in from them as Autumn is here again with that sonic wave.
Okay, Autumn only going for the minion there. So I think if I'm Team Garen mid here, great pressure, but just slow it down a little bit. Don't do anything that's going to kill you or put you behind. You're doing some lovely plays. Wait for those 6 spikes. Because if Garen hits an R in a fight...
Yeah, huge. A big key thing as well to note is that Autumn did double scuttle Power Fruit.
Oh, I didn't even...
You see on the map there that after that mid-fight, Autumn did actually go and get that top scuttle crab, and he has double scuttled him. But he's still 5 CS down. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out.
So hopefully Autumn will be able to catch up, but again, great proactivity from Autumn. Hopefully he should just be able to clean up his camps that haven't been touched yet. But again, hopefully maybe that's what they need. They need an early pressure jungler to get these side lanes ahead, or deny Rocket from getting too far ahead.
One thing I really love, well, one thing I will say is, can we have a little bit of a respect for Autumn, playing mid, playing bot, playing jungle, as we see him in the top lane now. Lands the sonic wave as the bot lane looks like there's going to be a little bit of a skirmish. But the Jarvan is also here in the stand, lands as well. But the Nico, but Sineville does die, but there's a TP coming down. It's going to be the Fiora. It's going to be the
Garen. It's the Garen's going down. And we got another TP!
From the Malphite, as the spin to win comes out from the Garen, Rock did go boom, and everything happened in that bot lane.
I mean, everyone wants to fight. This is just absolute chaos. I love it. It's so hard to see exactly what's going on, but it's TP after TP. Yeah, these guys are taking it to each other like tooth and nail.
As you see Autumn pushing out this mid lane in the face of Steenson. 10 CS ahead. As the bone skewer misses as he Valkyries away. And now, Infernal Drake first Drake. There's going to be a bit of a contest for this one, as both junglers are on the bottom side. Jarvan doing his red buff. And Lee Sin looking for a gank onto mid lane. As the bone skewer comes in onto Steenson, and Demacian Justice comes in onto him to secure the kill. And you see mini trades coming in on the top lane between the Fiora and the
Malphite.
Yeah.
Again, exactly what you need. I think what's going to be interesting for this Infernal, if Rocket want to challenge it, which I'm not sure if they will. Yeah, I want to see how the Corki uses this package, because it is such a big, like powerful. It's almost like Corki's ultimate. I see it. It's such a
So,
huge ability that can turn fights.
last game, we were looking at about a 2k goal difference in favour of Team Rocket Academy. This game, we have a 2.2k goal difference at 8 minutes for the Chronicles of Garen mid. Garen diff?
Could be the Garen diff. I mean, maybe this was all part of the plan, you know? Go down those 2 games, then bring out their secret pick. Or their most famous pick.
But you're right. Where do we think that Corki will use his first package?
So,
I'd be looking to use a bot lane if there is a fight.
so yeah, I'd either look for it proactively, or again, maybe looking for the Rift Herald or even the next Drake. Use that package on those objectives.
With the prior that they do have mid and bot though.
That's very true. Like at the minute, they are trying to punish the living life out of Steenson.
As we can see Autumn walking up to that Rift Herald and started to take it.
And again, I think it's just keep this pace up as the Chronicles Garen mid. Keep up this pressure. This is what you need to do, because as soon as that Ashe and Corki, if that Corki comes online, his damage is unbelievable. Ooh, and looks like a complete all-in. This could be really bad.
That was a very interesting thing to see from me. So you see a flash was expended in that bot lane as well. I did not expect that to happen. As Autumn is also being killed by Power Fruit. Arden has killed Steenson and walks out on the minimal amount. You see the Flag Drake come in onto that top lane and take out Makashima.
So really, yeah, really nice answers there from Power Fruit onto both plays. And again, the Garen, that was so close, that little fight. But again, really important that Garen gets that kill again on Corki, keeping that lead.
Garen does also have Demolish, so he's going to be taking plates like there's no tomorrow.
I'm actually kind of interested by the Mercury treads from Garen. I know it's a real small thing, but you can actually go tab eyes and deny Corki's auto attack damage.
Okay, so I've got a little visual bug on my screen right now, where I'm not seeing any items or summon a spell cooldowns or anything like that.
Okay.
Hang on, I don't know what happens. I might have to quickly. I can see the play, but I can't see anything on the interface.
Oh, so Corki just has used his package as well.
Offensively, I think. Right?
Yeah, very offensively. No, defensively. Sorry.
Yeah, defensively. Oh.
Oh.
We have a pause.
We do have a pause.
Do I have time to get in and out again? Out and in again? Travis?
I would need to check, but I think at the moment,
okay, I'm going to quickly reset my game.
Yep, no problem. I'm going to stay with you guys. So at the moment, again, we've got a huge lead on the top side of the map. Again, you've got the Malphite at the 2-0. Great little place by Power Fruit there. I actually believe, so far in this series, Papa Sexy has not died. So Papa Sexy has not died at all throughout this whole series. Again, you've got the Corki who's being punished early game by the Garen. Some really good proactive play by Lee Sin mid.
You just give me like 5 seconds to get back in. Sorry. Yeah, I'm in.
You're in. Beautiful. Right, so hopefully, we are still currently paused, but hopefully we should resume shortly. Again, so just quick thoughts. What do you think so far in the game? What do you think is going to be the intentions of both teams coming up, just to get your perspective?
I really like the intensity that Chronicles of Garen mid are bringing to this game, in all honesty. I like that this is a completely different play style to what they've been playing previous game. Their bot lane was very passive, as we see the Sonic Wave land, but the stun, the Eternal Crystallara just takes out Autumn, and he just dies there as the Nico has to also run away. Oh, as my screen has apparently frozen again.
Same here, I have frozen as well.
Travis, you froze it? Oh no, I'm in now.
Okay, we're going to...
ult come out from the Nico, the double stun come out, but Sin Level has got out. But the Pike comes in with that death from below. But Ragged Reese also dies to Power Fruit. Power Fruit making some really nice plays. As Garen is now 2-0-2.
Again, Rocket Academy, they're collapsing so well I think. Like they're trying to make plays, Garen mid, but then Roccat always kind of like Power Fruit just appears out of nowhere and goes, no, it's not going to happen today.
Yeah.
So doing really well.
I completely agree. The one thing you are right about with this Garen is only having Merc Treads. No damage so far, but it has helped. It helps him with that tenacity with all the knockouts and the slows that he's up against.
Oh, and a nice flash.
As the flash post comes in from Ragged Reese, as he is now being collapsed. So can he get to the blast cone in time? He pops the blast cone over as he walks into. Why would you not just blast cone into the Drake pit?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it might be just Garen mid are just trying too much here. Like he run into 4 people into their jungle. Just slow it down. Find your points. Get your winning moments, and then hold that lead. Hold that lead. Don't lose it.
As we see now that their 2.2k lead has been cut down to 100 gold.
Yeah.
So the comeback from Rocket Academy coming in huge right now. As we see an Iron Spike whip for both junglers, a Balmy Cinder Bramble Vest on the side of the Malphite, mitigating a lot of that Fiora damage. As using Charger Crystal Arrow land, the Falcon Drag as well, and the auto attacks are just going to come in. Barely has enough time to and Power Fruit gets his third kill of the game. 3-1 and 5 now for this jungler. As the Bone Skewer lands from Ragged Reese, but he now has to run away as the Falcon Drag comes in, but he gets Cataclysm and no flash to get out, and there's just going to be a lot of auto attacks.
You're outnumbered.
That kill. 3 versus 1, but the TP also comes in from Steenson.
They're taking some really odd fights here. They just lose their Nico, their main source of their damage, and then they go back in. Just cut your losses.
As we see the knock-up land onto Ard.
Oh.
He's going to keep going. He's going to keep spinning. As Steenson doesn't die, he gets the shutdown onto the Garen and gets a double kill onto Autumn as well. As we see the grand challenge initiated by the Malphite, by the Fiora onto the Malphite. As the stun lands onto Steenson, the Bone Skewer as well. Is there a death from below? There is not, but we see the Nico do so much damage, but he can't die! As Steenson also kills Reese in that middle lane.
And this is such a shame at the moment because it was going so well for Garen mid. But I think they're just trying too hard. Like they had their lead. They had like a little bit of like a 2k lead, I believe, at one point, like really early on.
2.2k in 8 minutes, and 5 minutes later they are now 4k down, 3k down.
They're just trying too hard. You've got 2k lead. Keep it. Don't throw it away.
With Corki about to finish his cull as well, this is going to be a huge scaling spike for him, especially now that he went from being 0-2-0 down to being 5-3-2. Absolutely fantastic play from the mid laner for Rocket Academy.
Just want to note as well, the amount of shutdowns is over 1k gold for Rocket Academy on shutdowns. So they have definitely accelerated, and Garen mid, find your way back into this game, even it up, and just slow down. Wait for those big team fights, wait for your moments.
As we see Autumn hovering here, shadowing his top laner. As the Corgi has the package against Tita does have the package, so if a fight does happen top lane, you can see him and Impress both roaming up.
Again, we do have the Rift Herald, which is 10 seconds, so a pick here would be amazing for the Corki.
Oh, what a beautiful kick from the... But they can't do anything about it as Steenson and Power Fruit do so much damage as we see the Immortal Shield Bow and the Gold Drinker coming out from the mid-jungle duo for Team Rocket mid. There's nothing they can do right now. Corki is scaling.
And again, it's such a shame because the Corki was 0-2 earlier on, but a few little mistakes and the Corki's way back into this game.
As you see Garen go in, Garen starts spinning, has the Demacia Justice available as the ult from the Nico land.
Lovely.
As we see, wow, yeah, he should have a spin up soon as the TP does come in from the Fiora, and the Fiora is also in this fight now. And we're watching this, the Demacia status should be up soon, but instead, the pullback with the Q comes through as the flash also comes through, and the shield bow gets propped from Steenson. The Sonic Wave connects, the cripple also connects, and a 900 gold shutdown land onto Autumn.
Huge fight.
As we see the Bone Skewer maybe landing. You can't fight him. He does so much more damage than you.
Oh!
Oh! As the Nico gets the last hit on the Ashe after the death from below did actually miss, but he still gets the gold from it, as it was used, I believe. But there is now a 6.5k gold lead in favour of Team Rocket Gaming. So that's an 8k swing.
I mean,
Hang on, no 10k swing. Well, 8k. Hang on, I need to do maths in my head.
but honestly, that last fight of the Rift Herald, I don't want to say it, but it just seems so uncoordinated. They all went in one by one. And you've got Rocket Academy, who are there as 4. Just ready, and just like, okay, we'll fight the Garen. Okay, we'll fight the Nico, one by one.
Yep.
They seem to be a bit uncoordinated here, which is probably the reason why they're in a really tricky spot. But we do have a big play top.
Yeah, we may be looking at a dive top lane. Paragon Reese takes a bit of a free tower shot for his troubles, but they can look now to push that top lane in and get that top tower. As they are 3-0 towers down. They're hopefully about to get their first one. But we shall see. That's their first tower of the game, 17 minutes in.
But again, I think this is quite a nice play.
The Dragon Rage kick comes in, as you see the flash come out from the flash ready come out from the Janna as well, as the Demacian Justice comes out, and Garen is now 4-2. A lot got used that fight though. You had the flash from the Lee Sin, the Dragon Rage kick, and the Demacian Justice, as we see the Nico Everfrosting the Jarvan away.
Just want to say,
comes up, but the ult also comes out. But Jarvan just does so much damage and has so much sustain right now that the Flagger Drake does come in again, and the Concrete gets procced, and Jarvan is now 6-1, 2 levels above, and they lose an inhibitor as well for their troubles, as Ragged Reese has to flash away, and Ashe just does so much damage.
I mean, so I think, again, it's nice to see them kind of grouping up, knowing they're behind and having to force. But the amount of action, this Ashe just took 2 towers and an inhib by herself in all of this fight. And again, we've got a play on the top side.
The rock go boom, as I said before, and Fiora just dies. As we see the Ashe just keep pushing in this mid lane.
And this Ashe has been such a huge pick for Sin Leviel this series. I mean,
he is such a key pick, especially when they wanted to play those engage picks. Because
you've had
those auto attacks just want to slow you down, and those engages just go away after a while.
And you've had the Shen all the way throughout, and this game he said, you know what, I don't need the Shen, I'm fine.
Reese going in, Prowler's claw onto the Ashe, but Ashe just has 2.5 items now. You can't go in like that.
Yeah, I mean, Ragged Reese is now on 10 deaths in 19 minutes.
So he's... I'm sure. Oh no, he's got 3 kills though.
He does have 3 kills, so I do feel Pyke has a bit of use. If he can get them low, the R can come through really big. But I think slow down. There's too much aggression here. You're just running at them, and I think there just needs to be a bit of composure from Garen. If it's not too far, run away from him already.
And the Flagger Drag coming in onto Autumn's Lee Sin. The Comet also hit in. The Dragon Drag kick used to disengage that fight. Oh, the package coming in, separating them all. The Sonic Wave lands as we see the Cataclysm land after the Flagger Drag, and the damage does so much damage. Yet the Cataclysm into the unstoppable force from the Malphite, and the Corki just get output to damage. That Gatling gun shredding through that armor.
I mean, I think this could possibly be looking at an end here.
Looking at a 3-0. 20 minutes in.
20 minutes, and they're looking to start running at these final Nexus towers. I think this could be possible.
It's clinical from them, to be honest.
Yeah.
As Powerful gets caught under the tower, but Deanson just obliterates both the Nico and the Fiora as they take down the first Nexus tower.
And I think this is it, guys. I think if you're a Garen mid fan right now, it's hold your hands together and pray, because it's the final stand.
As we see the Nexus get taken down. 3-0 in favour of Team Rocket. Your Division 3 champions, Team Rocket Academy.
I mean, what can I say? Incredibly clean. by Rocket Academy. I think Garen Mid had some really good points, but I think they just made one or two mistakes in both games. Especially games 1 and 2 with the way they played. 1 and 3, sorry. And I think game 2 was just a bit of a draft difference, unfortunately. But again, amazingly well played by Rocket Academy and well deserved.
Yeah, I mean, Rocket Academy was just extremely clinical in all of their team fighting. They tried to play a very early game comp, did Chronicles of Gambit, and it worked for a while. It really, really did.
Mm.
However, they just scaled. The
Yeah,
early game the early game went very, very well.
yeah. I think there was just a point in the mid game where Rocket Academy started tightening up and predicting some of the moves, and Garen Mid just got too aggressive. If you have a 2k gold lead, just keep it. It doesn't need to
Just
be a
play slow
10.
at that point, yeah.
Yeah,
I,
you have
I
a
would
lead.
yeah, would have wanted them. I would have wanted them to see them play a bit slower, use that lead, get Autumn further ahead, get the Garen further ahead as well.
Yeah, and just keep those leads, keep that Corky behind. But as soon as Corky got 5 kills just from mistakes,
Yeah, Corky started scaling, hyper
yeah,
scaling, and then he got that. And then there was that Rift Herald fight, which was super, super disjointed.
and I think from that point it was just night night for Garen Mid, unfortunately. So just checking. Do we have anything from the winners, Rocket Academy?
I'm
I'm
trying to
not sure if we have
find, we're trying to
interviews.
see, put it in the chat to see who we're interviewing. I'd quite, I'd quite like to have a chat with Steenson to talk about
So that
how well
is.
he played that mid lane.
So while we're asking, if you do you have an MVP for the series? Who is the person?
Steenson.
Steenson. Why? Just give us a little bit of input. Why Steenson?
Steenson, I think the matchups he had in that in all three matchups he had, although some people may have seen them as unfavorable for him, he still played them incredibly well. That Anivia, very, very well, knew when to put that wall up, knew when to set that CC up for the jungler to come in and help. Very, 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 very good. All round play from him. Helped set up his team for some fights as well, going in for the bait, stuff like that.
So honestly, I think every single one of Rocket Academy's members stood up today. Power Fruit being really reactive and proactive with ganks. Papa Sexy only died in this final game. Sin Leviel on this Ash was
Yeah.
absolutely crazy. He was 2v1ing and just continuously running at people. So incredibly well played. And Impress as well with these nice little signature picks that really did the work.
Mm.
So I do believe shortly we are going to have everyone coming in. So we're going
We
to
got
have
everyone.
the
Oh
whole
boy.
team joining us.
The
So we are going to get the
table coming
reactions.
up. We got a round table coming up,
Yep.
apparently.
So let's see how they react. I believe they'll be with us shortly. Again, any final things? Anything you want to say about Garen Mid as well?
They played Garen Mid.
Yeah, Garen Mid, we saw it. I actually thought he did really well in the early game. I actually think it could have been a carry point.
You played really, really well on that Garen Mid. Like, you shut the Corky down early, and then Deanson managed to just capitalize off the mistakes you guys made in the early to mid game. Well, in the mid game, I guess, with the Herald fights, the objective fights and it was all very, very good. But I know you're all saying Sin MVP, but for me, it has to be Steenson. He played those matchups in all three games really, really well.
I think it can be between the two. I think what I will say is I think Steenson had the best performance, but I think Sen Levior was consistent all the way throughout. I think it is 50-50.
Another name for me, so for me, it's one of two. It's Steenson or Power Fruit, actually. Power Fruit's jungling helped set his team up for a lot in those 3 games as well.
Yeah, there was huge amount of. I think at every point, every kind of player. I know it's not what you want to hear. You want to hear this person is the MVP, but I think everyone has really carried their weight. There's not one person who really needed help throughout the series.
Indeed.
I think we are just waiting for one more, and I think we're ready to drag them in shortly.
Well,
or should we just drag them now?
I don't know. Travis could drag whenever. Yeah, I think
Yes, we are waiting for one more.
We're waiting for Sin Leviel himself to join to grace us with his presence.
But it's been one thing I want to say. There was 30 kills every time for Rocket Academy. These were not easy. These were not just clean kind of macro games. These were wars and these were fights.
It was a war of attrition, and they very much decided to wreck all of them. To just
Yeah.
go through all of them one by one. Oh boy! And now we've got
There we go.
all 5 of them joining us. Welcome to the call, champions, Division 3 champions, Team Rocket Academy. How does it feel?
Feels good. Feels good, no?
Feels normal.
First time winning. Feels good.
But yeah, just a massive congratulations. Is what I want to say. I just want to ask, in that final game, obviously you got put behind a little bit early. How did you feel like as soon as you started turning it around? Like, just quick, one of you, just give us a quick thoughts about how you felt in that final game.
Comfortable.
Yeah,
like I know that Steenson was roaring, but I never felt like in that game there was ever a point that we were losing.
Damn, nice.
Steenson throwing in that final game, huh?
I mean, Nigel has his moments, right, where he just straight up runs it down. We're used to it. Like, I don't know how his brain's working, but I mean, it's okay. Like, it was just a question of getting back to our standard game, how we want to play, and then after that, I think the Herald fight was pretty crucial. And I don't know, Sin had a lot of alone time.
I played PvE for like 6 minutes.
Yeah.
He got to know the minions very, very intimately, did he?
It was the towers I got to know.
But that's the thing, right? Let's talk quickly about that Herald fight, right? So at the time, Garen had a bit more of the prime, but you guys managed to roam up and managed to catch them one by one. How crucial do you think that fight actually was in terms for your own team scaling?
I think it was like a big confidence boost, like to get back into our game, right?
Yeah.
Where we were like, okay, yeah, we are a bit behind, but we can win the fights. And I think the real big turning point was when the Corki got the double kill before Drake. And then Nigel was like, yeah, fuck, I'm back in the game.
And then I was like, stopped throwing, yeah.
Yeah.
When he stopped painting.
And then we just won. Like, I don't know.
Can I just say, we were going to play Garen mid that game, but Impress wouldn't let us. We were going to first pick Garen.
I'm really glad that we didn't though. I really respect our opponents for picking Garen mid in the last game.
I mean, we had to, because like Fruit didn't play semifinals, right? Because we had our superstar jungler, substitute jungler in.
I was going to say, your jungle was one of the superstars I highlighted this series as well. But yeah, go ahead.
But and then Fruit, I don't know, hard carried game 1 and game 2, because he had to make some shit up. Because obviously our substitute performed better than him because he's an inhibitor.
Shout out, by the way, to Hug for free for subbing in a crucial moment where I had to go to work and there was no rescheduling for me. So big thanks to him.
Yeah, I mean, he helped you guys. He helped you guys beat my team to the final, and yeah, he played really, really well. But honestly,
though, if you think about it, your team did get to the final.
Yeah, only me.
Good job. We played finals already.
So I just want to take it back actually really quickly to game 1. When you see that draft come out from the enemies, what is your thoughts? Because I know me and Dash here were just like, what on earth are we looking at? We didn't know what was going where.
They had a few mental drafts, really, didn't they? We were a bit.
They had 4 melee plus Yumi for context.
Yeah.
Yeah, we knew that the Jarvan wasn't going jungle because they did that. They did that already in the season, right? So, and I like after semis, I told my team, I don't want to be on dog duty anymore. Just give me Bard. And then it perfectly lined up. I don't know what their plan was. I mean, just maybe full comfort. They tried to cheese. I think they did better cheesing in game 3. I think.
What with the Garen mid?
Yeah, Garen mid and the Lee Sin perma ganking. I don't know if I don't know if Autumn knows that there are jungle camps which he could take to get some XP, but the man was on a mission. I respect it.
I mean,
Yeah.
Autumn played 3 different roles in all 3 games, by the way. He played mid,
Yeah.
AD carry, and jungle.
I mean,
But it's
man's a
also
multi-role
hard to
talent.
play. It's also hard to play his main role, AD's carry, when he only can play 2 champions.
He did say
And
in
we
his
best him
interview
out.
last week. He did say, ban away Ezreal MF and give me a challenge. He got his challenge, is all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Did he say that? I bet.
He did say, he said it in the interview when they 3-0'd Abstract Chaos.
Yeah.
I bet. And yeah, and then I don't know. Game 1, yeah, I was draftive. I would say they didn't. They went. I respect, like, in a best of 5, right? I think going for super cheese in game 1 is really good strat.
Yeah.
Because then, like, if it works, right, then the other team has to super respect it, and if it doesn't work, then maybe you just lost 1 game. You still have a lot of games to go. So it's okay.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure for melee into Anivia
Yeah, I
Ash
mean-
is the best
I mean,
cheese
yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
Just moving on from that, so again, I thought like the Poppy again was a genius pick into that because it was so hard for them to kind of get on top. I just want to ask about game 2. I'm just going to go through the kind of the drafts. Like, how did you feel about game 2 as well? Like, again, how did they change it up? Did it work? What did you think when you saw that game 2 draft come up?
I think they played game 2 very, very good till a certain point. Like the Azrael worked out really good for them.
Yeah.
And also the Hecarim Oriana combo we were in draft. Like, yeah, we have to respect it. But I think they had just some communication issues sometimes, where the Hecarim just went solo to top lane all the time, and we getting just 3 drakes. I was like wondering, what is he doing?
That
Why
reminds
is
me.
he top and not trying to contest with this certain type of comp with Hecarim just going in and Oriana ulting? But yeah, I think till a certain point I played game 2 better than game 1, but eventually we were better on the day, I guess.
We had a bit of miscommunication as well, didn't we?
What happened? Okay.
When they went to they dived Simon and Impress, I said, bait the Hecarim, I can ult you. And then literally I looked away for a second at the shop, and then they dived Simon and died. And that's when I ulted on the Impress when they tried to form on diving the Lux. But yeah, I ruined Simon's perfect game. Sorry, Simon.
Ah, man.
There's always one, isn't there, guys? I just want to. Dash, you got any questions as well?
No,
Any quick
I
thoughts?
think you've covered it all. Really, I think the mid jungle duo was obviously very important. I like the synergy that you Steenson and Fruit had in game 1 with the Poppy and Nivea picks, getting that wall up, getting the stun in there, and like stifling Autumn, who had actually got ahead before that synergy really started to take place. How did you transition that into? How did you transition basically stun locking poor Autumn in the mid lane into like into an overall like victory? Because each of these games, I tell you what, had over 30 kills in less than 30 minutes. Over a kill a minute in both of these games.
What was really funny, because I think it was like my second time Poppy jungle, and I didn't even thought about it that I can wallhammer into Anivia wall, and then when I realized it, I was like, oh my god, I just repeat getting mid lane over and over again because it's fucking easy.
It was something again. I don't think we realised, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, "That's broken." Okay, that Aurelia's gonna have a horrible time. I guess kind of thing. So obviously you're the champions. So congratulations first of all.
Thank you.
How do you feel about going into Div 2? Again, you've shown really impressive showings all the way throughout. I don't think you've lost a game, have you?
We lost
They
the
lost-
ball in the
we
first
Yeah, we
game.
lost the first game.
Shout out to
Against
You lost the
Pirates
first
World.
Yeah, shout out.
Didn't
Shout
you
out
guys
to
lose 3-1 to them?
What?
Curly, didn't you guys lose 3-1 to them?
Who?
2-1.
You guys, your team.
Yeah, Dave
Yeah.
lost
Bob
to
won.
us, but we lost to Bob. The only game we've
Oh
dropped.
no, Bob was. It was
This
Bob. Yeah.
split, we
We-
was against Bob.
Yeah, we
But,
lost the entire series to Bob, and then
Bob are just too strong. Bob
Yeah.
too
Yeah.
good.
and
Bob
then
would have
and then,
won finals instead of us, actually.
and
Yeah,
then we
Bob-
always
Bob
lost.
OP.
Beat Bob in the final.
Then we always lost game 1. Got into comfort zone and then 2-1 all the way.
Mm.
Oh yeah, it's the only series we dropped, not the only game. Sorry.
So I guess the final thing really to say, unless you've got anything else to say, Dash, is
Nope.
I think just for you guys, one, how do you feel? And two, is there anything you want to say to the Div 2 teams for next split?
I want to say something.
And what you're
Go
gonna
on,
do?
mate. Go
Yeah,
on.
go for it.
I want to say thank you to our coach for being there all the time and doing all the I'm sure Sean is gonna have a lovely evening tonight celebrating with some pictures of Lilia.
We'll send
Okay.
it. We'll send. I'm sure they'll send him an under 15s karate trophy as well to congratulate you on the split win.
Yeah.
no, he's not a karate. He's a nose fencing champion actually,
Yeah.
because he has a massive honker. But
Oh, Sean says that's me in the chat, by the way.
yeah, the one with the big nose.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't see his big nose, but
mean,
Try,
yeah.
look out,
Trust me, it's big.
try looking out of the window. Maybe you can see it then.
Yeah. It's the thing where you always thought it's a mountain, but in reality it's Sean's nose.
Yeah.
dear God. Before we stop
Yeah.
them getting, before we stop poor Sean getting roasted for the next 25. Any more roasts before we go? I don't know. You might as well keep going. He hates you all already.
I mean, that,
Yeah, I would like to say thanks for Garen for picking the only pick I can play Lucian into and the stump. So thanks for that.
I just want to call out Big Sexy for calling out Sean on his Lilia fantasies.
Hey,
But
behave.
all I want is I'm not digging deeper into that. All right, I hope you guys had fun casting that.
That was we looked at the game 1 draft and I was talking to Curly about it, and the first thing I said was, "Have fun color casting this."
Yeah, I didn't have to, with the amount of fighting. I couldn't even look at items. I was like, and there's a play, and there's a play. But honestly, really well deserved. I mean, you took all 3 of these games quite comfortably after the 20-minute mark.
All right, cool. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you to Team Rocket Mid for talking to us. Congratulations on the Div 3 win. Looking forward to seeing you guys in Div 2 next year.
Yeah, boy.
And that's it from the Division 3 finals. For well, not for now, but that's it then.
Can I say one more thing?
Oh, go on, Impress.
If you want to feel like a champion, right? Just go on to our Twitter page and buy some Team Rocket merch.
Oh, you have merch.
Yeah, we have merch. Obviously, we're champions. What do you think?
What kind of merch do you have? Shout out what kind of merch you have, I guess.
Jerseys, we have hoodies, we have joggers. We can have underwear as well if you want. Yeah, I don't know.
There we go. If you're having a down day, go over to Rocket Academy's website, buy yourself some nice Rocket boxes. You won't be let down.
Yep.
Right.
All right. Thank you very, very much, everyone, for tuning into this best of 5 again. Well done, True Team Rocket Academy, for being Div 3 champions. And we'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye.